This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua.
Rolling down 109 in a truck. Pull my ride up to the light, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 on Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. His colors mobbing tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs. The level where funds gets tragic and lavish is none. With rebels, they runs and rabbits like savages' sons. With did him and bigger and swiftly he shined the mug. That city appeared it with 50 took 9 of them slugs. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua.
rolling down.
What's good? What's good? What's good, family? What's good, family? Y'all know it's funny. Y'all see when I started it, I didn't know I was on the screen. My mouth was all open. That's funny. I'm like, hold up, my mouth all open. I'm over here trying to get the thing ready. Like, I still have my hair wrapped up in my rubber bands tied behind my head. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. What's good? 25 Life Testimony TV family. All right, let me make sure that y'all can hear me. Yep, y'all can hear me because somebody live. Y'all live. All right, Shalom, Phyllis Richards in the building. Shalom to everybody in the building. Anaya, Ahanaya, Abriya, Yahakana, Zayana, Yanat. Who else? Shout out to Justo, HNIC in the building. All right, shout out to everybody else who's going to come in a little later over on Facebook as well as over on YouTube. All right, we getting started. Yeah, that was kind of funny. I'm like, my mouth was all open. I can't wait to watch that back. I'm going to watch that back. I like stupid stuff like that. I'm like sitting there like, I'm trying. That's fun. I'm glad I had clothes on. I'm glad because sometimes I be in here with no shirt on, working, doing stuff privately, in my office privately. So I'm like, I'm glad I had some clothes on or something. Oh, that would have been horrible. All right. So shout out to everybody out there. All right. We're going to get started. So the first thing for those, I got to do my new intro. I'm going to put that together really soon. For those who are new to the channel and new to Testimony TV family, I'm Uncle Yashua. I might look a decent, kind of youngish age, but I'm an elder. I look a lot younger than I really am. I was alive and functional during the crack era, before crack, even before hip hop. So yeah, that lets you know I'm 9,000 years old. So anyway, during the crack era, I was in my sin and transgression as a child and didn't know no better when they flooded crack into the ghettos, most notably New York City in the early 80s. They flooded a high amount of crack, and they did this experiment in the ghettos on us. Before my generation, they flooded heroin and made my elders, who we looked up to, heroin addicts. And they tried to make us, my generation, crack addicts. And a lot of them became crack addicts, and a lot of us sold this crack drug, not knowing the genocide of what it was doing. I was a child, started selling when I was 12 years old. That's a child. I'm not proud of it. This channel is a testimony and a testament to that degraded life that I lived, and it ended up getting me 25 to life in prison. So there's nothing to be glorified. There's nothing to be, the only thing that can be gained from this channel and the stories that I'm telling is how to, that you can overcome anything, and that if I can make it, because I got abandoned by my mom and dad when I was a baby, a child. And so I grew up in the projects by myself with my grandmother, and then she died and I was on my own from there. But so if I can make it out of it and turn my life into something to serve other people, because now I'm a minister for the Most High, anybody could. It's not to glorify anything. It's just my trials, tribulation, and testimony, which got me a life in prison, a life at the end sentence bed, and other prison terms, 15 to life, 25 to life, and 2 to 6. Those are my most notable prison terms, sentences, or terms that I was facing. But from the grace of the Most High, I got a second chance in my life. So for new people that find the channel, this ain't no young dude or no YouTuber or no what you want to call it. It's just some clown, everybody living off the exploits or the trials and tribulations or darkness of other people during the 80s and 90s crack era. I'm not there. I was there with them. All right. And I'm not proud of it, but I was there with all the most notable dark legends in the streets during the crack era. All right. So, but I'm gonna make a quick little intro thing, a better little intro thing that can introduce people to the channel when they come, especially when I start pushing the channel out. I haven't been pushing this channel, so when I push it, it's gonna grow big. So I'm putting that together for y'all now. Better than this one. This is a little intro that I put together, but I'm putting a better one than this one together to explain when people come what this channel is about and who I am, so they can listen to the stories and know that this ain't somebody just making up stuff. This is somebody who was actually there. So this little clip right here was the little images I put together of me back in the 80s, different pictures and some of my cars and some of my, I don't know if I put some of my houses in it or whatever, but here you go. Anyway, there you go.
I'm from Hempstead. The ghetto, the dog side, strong, the wrong, the think I'm bustin' I'm walking my shoes to different avenues. Niggas getting murdered, passing through. When the cops leave a pack, you will grab you. You know, crip, niggas, they be slashing you. Fake thugs walking with toast, ain't complacing you. Standing on the block, so swan can enter flash you. Either it's a thief, or it's the police, or some rowdy little dude talking about you got beef, or it's a dopey on the block, flashing the tits, talking about for $5, shit suck your man. Or it's the feds on the roof, and they flashing their cameras. All the bullet flash after thugs blast their hammers. I'm from the ghetto, you, I ain't got no manners. All I got is my famous faculties, they blame us. See, we ain't playing around, we taking it all. So give me the flowers, eggs, milk, cause I'm eating it all. I'm from Hempstead. The ghetto, the dog side, strong, the wrong, the think I'm bustin' what?
I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto. That's me and Rita B. Shout out to Rita B. Crown Heights, Hempstead, Strong Islands. She was part of the Palace Mom, my rap group back in the early 2000s. Me and Rita B got a couple of albums together. That's one of them called Hempstead, Parkside. We got Outlaws, Blood Said, 13, MS, Folk Talk, Nieta, Strip, y'all. And then I rhyme. Yeah, we killed that song. Shout out to John, I keep forgetting it, John Arnold. That's his name. I finally got it, from Harlem. His brother is Gary Arnold, who used to run with Dame Dash and Jay-Z, and well, Dame Dash and them crew when they had that radio show on Hot 97, Dame Dash and them. Gary Arnold, that's his brother. John Arnold is the one who made that track. Shout out to John. That track is dope. Boom, 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 boom. We killed that. I'm from Hempstead. So y'all see, that's the outro. That's me and Rita B. So anyway, I'm gonna do a tighter intro to I gotta get it right. So when new people come, because I understand out there on YouTube, they got so many fakes and fugazis and so many. That's why, remember we was on the live, sorry, I can't see the comment. Remember we was on the live a couple of lives ago and some dude came in here, he was like, lies, telling lies. Y'all know I roast people, so I just roasted his foolish butt because he need to sit down and find out where he at first, That's why it was funny, because he came in there talking about that. I'm like, well, if you, by the way that I just roasted you, you should know I'm from the 80s, because we don't play all that. We never play all that. Yeah, all right. So anyway, but I understand, because YouTube, there's so much lies out there and people making up. You got artificial intelligence. Shout out to Tatiana and Hashaya in the building. You got artificial intelligence. Shout out to Drizzy in the building. Shout out to Drizzy. You got artificial intelligence doing some of our dark street legend stories, right? You got, no disrespect, but you got a little white dude in the middle of Idaho sitting down making our stories about some crack era a psychopath or something, dark legend story, and he just and getting all of the getting the money and the popular. So anyway, so I understand why someone would come and be like, "Oh, he lying," and then when they look at me, they're like, "Boy, you weren't there no crack era," because I'm supposed to look all cracked out, right? No disrespect, but I'm supposed to look really old. But I took care of my temple, guys. That's why I was I stopped eating flesh and blood during the crack era. That's a crazy that story. Real y'all have no idea. So my temple is purified. So that's why I maintain, as y'all see. See, I maintain this temple. You know, you got to keep it tight, keep it right. You heard? Keep your temple. Your body is the temple of the Most High, created in His image. Purify your temple. All right, let's get started tonight. So next week we got a special one next week. I'm gonna have a special guest next week. I'm gonna have I haven't did a guest in a long time. We had LL on here as a guest. We had Unique on here as a guest, Daddy U. Next week I'm gonna have Raheem from Crown Heights, Hempstead, Strong Island. We got a Crown Heights in Hempstead too. With Heights, that's where Granddaddy IU is from, for those who know about hip hop. Raheem Rayford. Shout out to Ra, Lucky Ra, or what is it, Ra Nappy Heads, what he got on Facebook. Ra's a trip. So I got me and Ra gonna be we're gonna be doing a joint next week, and I'm telling the crazy story of Ra. Telling the story of Ra. I'm gonna get some answers to this story. I always wanted to know some answers to this story, so we're gonna have Ra come on here himself and let us know. You know what I mean? When I asked the question, I got to ask him because I want to know some. I always wanted answers to this question, and I'm gonna find out next week. And then we're gonna do a story on Steve Lawrence, a Hempstead Crown Heights, a dark street legend, and I'm gonna do a story on Ra, and that'll be next week. With Raheem gonna rock out with me, Most High willing. So I'm gonna check in with him during the week to make sure everything's still set up, because y'all know technical difficulties. If not, then it'll be the week after. But Ra will be rocking out with me. All right, so that's gonna be pretty fun and dope. Shout out to Ra. Shout out to Ra out there. All right, Hempstead, Strong Island. Ra's the legend. Ra definitely built his legendary status. Shout out to Ra. All right, so now let's get started. Let's get this party started. All right, so this one. All right, so I'm going to jump around right in these stories, because this channel I'm telling my life story, so I'm telling my book. So it's so much in my story, so I can't just go continuous, a continuity. So I'll be jumping back and forth, but I'll let you know when I'm switching, because I'll be remembering stories. You see what I mean? I'll be remembering things. So it's like, okay, well, I got to go back, right? Sometime I go forward. Because I think after me and Raheem's show next week, I think I'm going back. Yeah, it's time to go back. And then I'll continue from here. But it's time to go back. I'm probably going back to the beginning of hip hop. I'm going back some real foundation. I got that's going to be really fun. I'm going back to the beginning, back when hip hop, oh my goodness. Yeah, we're going back to the troglodytes. And also I'll be telling stories about some other dark street legends. Unfortunately, I'm gonna try to think of some light, meaning righteous street legends too, if I can. Unfortunately, during the crack era, it wasn't too many righteous light street legends, because of how much darkness was over us. We were all doing these things trying to survive, and we knew no better, right? So I'm not justifying it or nothing, but they were righteous. So I'm gonna try to what I'll do is I'll try to add in, when I tell a dark street legend story, I'll try to add in a positive. I can, because there's plenty positive people in our hoods. So I'll do that. That'll be a great balance, because nobody wants to just have negativity, all the time. But that's what sells, right? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know what I mean? People, imagine when you did a movie right? You did a movie and it was about some good dude that it'll be a snooze fest. Nobody would watch your little Netflix movie, but you do a movie about some Al Capone or some crazy dude who shot up 90 people and then jumped off the Empire State Building. Your thing gonna blow up, right? We just wired for darkness. We are. That's the sin and iniquity that was lodged in our heart from Genesis, the book Genesis 3 and 6. Sorry, I'm a man of the Most High. I'm a minister, just so y'all know. So, but I'm not about to make this ain't church, nothing, right? But that's the curse that was placed into our heart. So our heart is evil continually from Adam and Eve, Adam and Hayavah. They transgressed the Most High in Genesis 3 and 6. That's the 3 6s, the mark of the beast. Sin was brought into the world. So now sin is lodged in our heart. So we have a propensity to enjoy sin. Sin feels good to the flesh. S-I-N, sinful things, right? Smoking, drinking, smashing, partying, cursing, right? All these, that lifestyle, that gangster, all that feels good to the flesh. That's why we have to die to the flesh. So that's why, that just helped some of y'all who didn't know why all of us have a propensity to like dark stories. We're attracted more to darkness than we are to light. That's why it's so hard for us to fight against our flesh, to fight the darkness, because the darkness is lodged in our heart. That's why he said we ought to circumcise our heart daily and replace it with the heart of the Most High. That's the fight for all of us. Yes, you got to choose the tree of life every day. Good one, Zayana. So, okay, so I'm quite sure that helped a lot of people that didn't understand why are people so drawn to negativity. It's because of that serpent seed in our heart, that serpent's heart, that Eve, our great grandmother, her foolishness, and Adam, he was the first simp, right? He's supposed to check Eve, but he didn't. So they two transgressed, and now we born in sin and iniquity, and we got sin lodged in our heart. All right, it's in there, and that's why you have to die to it, and you have to circumcise it. You have to fight against the darkness that's within you. Y'all know we all got dark within us. You heard? That's where they put that little angel on this side and that devil on this side. You know what I mean? And those who conquer that devil is the ones who are live morally righteous. So all praise to the Most High, I was able to conquer that little devil. And now I'm a righteous, moral man anymore. But I always was a good man. But I wasn't always conquering it. And these stories is how, when I was young, I didn't conquer it all the time. Tonight is one I kind of did good. That's interesting. Good tie-in, Unc. Tonight's story is one I kind of did good. I kind of conquered the darkness. All right, so let me start with that. Let's start with that story. All right, the thumbnail. Tonight's thumbnail, revenge, the crack era, revenge or die. So interesting. Great tie-in. Thank you, Most High. Thank you, Father. Great tie-in, because tonight is a story where I am actually proud of myself. A lot of the stories that I tell of me during the cracker, I am not proud. That last week's story, not that I was traumatized because I lived it, but that was horrible. When we put a kilo in my baby's diaper, right? In my baby, tying a kilo to my baby. What kind of sickness? Boy, that's some real sick stuff, right? No, I'm definitely not proud of none of that sick stuff. Shout out to Pam. I'm glad we made it through all that stuff we went through. But tonight's story, I'm a part of this. I'm kind of proud of myself as I think about it. All right, so we're going to open with that. Let's get started. Shout out to Ahvaya and Yashiyaha out there in Canada. All right, shout out to whole Mashiach Assembly Ministry, my ministry family always holding me down. All right, shout out to everybody over on Facebook that are coming. New York City in the building. New York, Strong Island, all that in the building. All right, let's go. So now I'm going to rewind. I got to rewind. So let me put my image on the screen. Let me change this image. Let me see. If I change it, it will change. I ain't even got to take it off the screen. Let me find my image. There we go. Let me see if it showed up. Yeah, it showed up. I want to make it bigger though. Come on, make it bigger. There you go. Now you're cooking. There you go. Share the screen with my old car. All right, so I got to go back. We're going back a little bit, guys. This was my 500 SEL Mercedes back in the 80s into the early 90s. This story, I think I'm telling, is probably like 90, 91. It's 1990, 1991, something like that. I owned this car, right? This back in the early 90s. Anybody know from the crack ever knowing that if you was driving around in one of these in 1980 and 90, you was definitely getting that bag. And you had to be some kind of official to be holding it down because they was coming to shoot you and everything that lived to take that car from you. All right. So anyway, mine's was, y'all know, but let me do it for the new people. Mine's was silver. Well, not silver. It was charcoal gray. So it looked black at night, but it was really dark gray. Blacked out tints, had these rims, but they were deep dish hammers. All right, this is the 500 SEL Mercedes, the big body Benz. You heard? The big boy back in the days. All right, and I was young, looking like, you think I look young now. Imagine me 40, 50 years ago. I must have looked like I was 12. You heard? We was driving around in this looking crazy. Why I'm saying we looking crazy? Because we look so little. The steering wheel on that car is like this big, just so y'all know, because it's back in the days. They made big steering wheels. I remember that one story. I don't think I told it yet. With me and Raheem. Now, I look like 13 or 14, and Raheem looked like he 8 or 9 or something. Or right? And he only 1 year younger than me, but he really looked like a baby. And we riding around. We look so small. We look bigger. Like we would look like we stole the car. That's what we look like. If I think about it now, we look like we just stole some rich white person's Mercedes. That's what we look like. I'm surprised we didn't get pulled over as much as we more than what we did. But I guess because my tints were so black, they couldn't see. They couldn't see who was in the car. But anyway, so this car. So the story I'm about to start with tonight, I'm going back in time. All right. So I own this car in charcoal gray, but it looks just like this, right? All blacked out tints, right? So this is a time I don't remember. I think it was before I went. Yeah, it had to be before I went to jail for that. When I lost the car, because that's when they took it for putting tickets on the car, when they put all the tickets, because it was parked at Unique House when I went to jail. So this before 1992. There you go. Now I got the year, because I was 92 and I just got knocked. I had some krills, a 380, mad weed, some coke, and my 9 Glock. The story's true, not that fiction you hear. I grew up in the project slums, so these tools I just had to adhere. That's the rhyme I wrote back then. It's 1992, and I just got knocked off by the police. That's it, all right? That was the rhyme that I wrote back then anyway. So, in 1992, right? I wrote that when I was in jail, when I got locked up. And when I started writing, let's start, telling the story of how I got knocked up by the police, locked up. All right, so let's go. So at this time, I'm coming to the projects. My Benz was at its fullness. I think it had the full kit on it. It was laced. It was at its fullness, right? Had the kit on it, all of that. And I don't know how, but shout out to Shaka Z. Shaka Z is the one that gave me the picture of Kenneth Hill when I did that story. Shout out to Kevin Robb, and shout out to Beaver B. And that's funny, if Beaver watched this, I know he probably wonder, like, I wonder if Ra gonna tell our story. So Beav just came, guys. He just came about 2-3 shows ago. He came in the chat from Facebook. And I'm like, yo, what's up, Beav? So shout out to Beav if you watch this. So I don't know. So Kev Robinson, we call him Krob, K-R-O-B. Shaka Z, shout out to Shaka Z. And Beav, and they had their little crew. They had a crew, right? They're younger than me, a little younger than me. They had a crew though, right? And so they used to hang, they was thick as thieves. They used to hang out together. It was tight, right? So they used to be on 50 side, and 50 side because of Demetrius. All right, Demetrius is the one in the story when I was in the drug program. For those who've been following the book, following the lives, the Testimony TV lives. For those who are new, you got to catch up on the live streams. Or when the book come out, you'll read it all in the book. It'll be sequential order in the book. So for those who remember, Demetrius was the one when I was in the drug program and I didn't have no money, but the Most High God, I'm doing quotes, but the Most High Yah, that's his name, ain't no quotes for Yah, that's his name, the Most High Creator, right, what they call God, Yah, he told me I was going home from the drug program. But remember, and I was preparing to leave and it was crazy, but I didn't have no money. And when I went to see, I owed the Tactical Alternative to Street Crime Unit, TASC, the TASC unit in New York City. I owed them. I was given over to them by the judge when I was in the drug program. Tactical Alternative to Street Crime Unit, right? So I was going to see my task manager, counselor, supervisor, and letting them know, bro, I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm going home, right? Some crazy stuff. Y'all got to watch that story. Shout out to 40 Deuce. Shout out to Deuce. Deuce said, yes, the crew. Yeah, 40. You gonna like this one, 40. Watch this. I don't even know if you know this story, 40. You gonna laugh at this. Shout out to KD Kid in the building. All right, so the y'all remember that story if y'all watched that live when I was in the elevator and I've seen Demetrius. That's Demetrius Gore. Shout out to D Gore. He lived on 50 side of the projects, my side of my building, 50 side of the projects, Parkside Projects, Hempstead, Strong Island. They knocked our projects down. They gone. This the crack era. You heard? Facts. It's the height of it too. It's like 90, 91 or something like that. All right. So now 1990, 91. So that story, I got into the elevator and I seen Demetrius and I was talking to him and everything. And Demetrius gave me money out of his pocket. And that was the money I needed to ship all my clothes and everything to Florida. That's Demetrius. And he the one who he came into the dorm in Nassau County Jail when I was in that drug program and he had everything. So for that story. So Demetrius, so they would be Shaka Z, Kevin Robinson, and Lil Beeve. They would always be on 50 side because Demetrius lived on I used to live on 50 side, but at this time I'm living in Queens. So, but 50 side, remember Parkside Projects, that's my hood. I'm a project baby. I tell you, I'm an experiment baby. I'm from Campbell Park, Hempstead, Strong Island, all day, every day. I don't care that I lived in Queens. Shout out to Southside Queens. Shout out to Cambria Heights, Queens. Shout out to Farmers Boulevard. Those are my places. I lived in Queens for years and years, so I still shout out Queens. I'm from Queens too. Shout out to Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. My mama from Bed-Stuy, Brevoort Projects, all that, Bainbridge buildings. I even lived in a brownstone on Troop and Gates, okay? Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. So I lived in Brooklyn too. Shout out Brooklyn. My mom from Brooklyn, but I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dark side, strong. I don't play no games because that's what my rooted foundation raised me at. My projects, Hempstead all day, a day. You heard? All right. So anyway, let's not get that twisted one bit. All right. So now I'm living in Queens. Shout out to Farmers Boulevard, right? But my projects 50 side, this one building is still up. So Kev and his little crew, they would always be on 50 side because shout out to Joey Douglas. Oh my goodness. Yo, Joey, I'm going to tell a story. I'm going back. Now, Joey, everybody here and everybody at home that watch this, that Joe Douglas is one of the strongest legends of Hempstead history. Dark and light, right? But remember, so this, when I go back, that's when I'm going back to me as a little child, looking out my project window and seeing Joey Douglas and this big, I ain't gonna give it away. Shout out to Joey Douglas. Shout out to JD. All right, yeah, JD, you know doggone well I gotta tell y'all story. Oh, y'all, that's where I come from. My elders. Shout out to your brother Albie. Shout out to the whole Douglas. Shout out to the Moore family. All right, Rob Moore, who was in the NFL, all that. Shout out to the whole family. All right, yeah, you know I'm telling you, Kev, Jeter, and everything. All right, shout out to JD. Love you, JD. One of my, I grew up looking up to you. One of my idols growing up. All right, shout out to JD. All right, so now we and JD, hopefully I'll be able to post when. Hopefully you'll see when I'm telling your story. When I'm telling some of your story, I'm hopefully I can get you to tune in and watch it and everything. Because I'm giving flowers. I'm giving flowers to where I come from. That's where I come from. You heard? All right. Now, so they would be on Kev, Beeve, and Demetrius and them, and Shaka Z and them, they little crew, they will always be on 50 side. So for some reason, I don't know, at this time, I would be around them. I don't remember why, but I would be, because they would be on 50 side and I would be on 50 side because I had some customers in the projects that I would serve. You know what I mean? No, I'm not promoting this, but some of our people was doing cocaine. It's the 90s, bro. When I grew up, cocaine, that wasn't not saying it was bad, but it wasn't everybody was doing it. It's like they've pushed this stuff into our hood, and like my elder Joey's generation, a lot of them got strung out on heroin. I'm so glad Joey didn't get strung out on it. I don't know if he ever tried it back in the days, but he didn't get strung out. And he know what I'm talking about. Some of his, and they were legend. I mean, these dudes was powerful black men, strong. And I watched them become heroin addicts, become junkies, because this is what the system flooded into our hood. And not everybody survived it. Like my generation, some of them became crackheads, you see? And then even some of my elder Joey's generation, some of them became crackheads, right? And a lot got strung out on coke, but cocaine wasn't as bad as the crack and the heroin. The people who got strung out on cocaine, they could still function. They had an addiction, right? And they had a stronghold, but they could still function. See, Joey said true fact. He did it once. Yeah, I'm quite sure, because that's what they pushed on his generation. I'm so good. Yo, Joey, when I was young, when I got a little older, I was like, I'm glad that I was a little under y'all, because that everybody wasn't able to survive that heroin stuff. That stuff was no joke. All right. So shout out to Big Joey Douglas, that he survived. You know what I mean? Them pushing that heroin on us. And these are the guys, these dudes was generals. Like, these dudes were the soldiers. And like, when what's his name? J. Edgar Hoover and COINTELPRO, and they was like, that's why they squashed the Black Panthers and all that. They said, because a Messiah will come through these generations. That's why they was pushing these drugs and guns and liquor and heroin and then crack on us and cocaine and stuff in our hoods. Yeah, like Ray Charles. Exactly, Laria. Facts. The best of us. You understand? Look at, no disrespect to no, but look at me. I think I'm a beautiful man now. Now I'm in my fullness, my mind and everything I'm doing. And they almost stifled me. Got me life in prison and could have got me killed at any time during this crack era, and could have got me strung out on crack and all this stuff to destroy any of us from becoming great and pulling each other up. You see? Pulling it up by the arm, because we ain't had no boots. They say the bootstrap. Y'all know that story. We ain't had no boots. There ain't no bootstrap. Pulling each other up by the arm. That image that they have of the Most High's hand reaching down to pull his children up? That's what we're called to do. All right. So let me get with the story. So at this time, I don't know, I'm hanging around them, not hanging with them, but they my boys, right? They're a generation under than me. And I guess because I would be on Parkside. I'm living in Queens at this time. So anyway, I'm hanging around there. So I got the car that's on the screen. That's what I got. And it'd be parked in the parking lot. So we be on the benches and 50 side. So, you have a courtyard in all projects. So we have our benches, right? Joey lived on 67 side, the most popping side of our project. 67 building was the most popping building of them all. We all go to 67. But at this time, I'm on 50 side. Kev and them is out there. So we out there, right? And I guess we be smoking, not promoting that, smoking weed and just doing stuff, gambling, playing CeeLo, just the crack era stuff, just having fun. Just the crack era was fun, even though it was dark, right? We didn't realize how much danger and crap, but that crazy life, it was a fun time in a dark, sick fun, right? Not promoting none of it, but yeah, it was. All right. So anyway, so we out there and doing, everything. So it got kind of, I think I probably got a beep because this one beepers and stuff. And I was always hustling. So I think I must have got a beep and I needed to go to bounce, right? To go answer the beep and get money. Plus I was just going to go wherever I got to go. I was leaving them, right? Those my little boys. I guess, we was out there chilling at the project, smoking or whatever. So now I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm out, right? So they like, all right, they like, all right. I gave everybody that, right? Now this Kev and his crew, Kev, Rob, Beeve, Shaka Z, Demetrius, it's probably more of them because they had their own little crew. So I gave everybody that. Now we on the projects, people who remember on the benches. So then I got to walk to the parking lot to get to my car, this Benz, right? So I walked to the parking lot. Justo said, was that playground there back then or did that come later? Yep. I'm not sure which playground you're talking about, but it was a small playground on 50 side. I don't know how old you are, Justo. I don't know if you can remember that, but it was a little playground, monkey bars and stuff on 50 side. Before they built the Adams Courts, before they built those projects over there, the Shocks was over there though, but it was a playground there. So I'm not sure if that's one you're talking about because you're too young to remember that. All right. So let me read what 40 wrote. 40 wrote, Coke was it in the 80s and 90s. People were smoking woos, coke, and the weed, and some people are ashamed that they were smoking crack and weed. I'm glad I went through what I went through because it made me who I am today. Yo, I was my Christian Dior sweatsuit I stole from Macy's. Oh my goodness. 40, doggone well, 40, I can't go through this series and go back and not tell the time when we was running together. 40, all right, sorry 40, you shouldn't have brought it up. 40 was the booster king of the hood. I think of the whole Hempstead, probably the whole Nassau County area. Boosting guys is what we would call back in the days those who steal from stores, meaning sorry, this remember it's dark legend stuff. Who boosting who go into, let's say you're going to Macy's and will take a whole rack of Yves Saint Laurent sweatsuits, go into the eyeglass section and end up getting a whole case of, shoplifting. Thank you. That's what it's called. Thank you, 40. Shoplifting. 40 was the king, guys. Oh, these stories, y'all gonna have a good one. Oh, everybody, y'all gonna love that series. When I go into me, 40, remember, you and B2B, you and Ray Ray, R.I.P. to Ray Ray. Look, Joy Duggan said, don't get him arrested. No, he can't. He's old. This back from he ain't kill nobody. All that. Ain't no statute of limitations. That's one thing I don't do, Joe, is I never call out anybody like that was doing any gangs, anything that could be tie people to some current things. I don't do that. I don't play all that. I don't even do it to myself. That's why I always say these are past expense events, and I did my time for and 40 done did plenty time in jail. See, he done did his time for every little thing he ever stole out any store. All right, we talking about back in the 80s. That's what I said. We going back in the days. All right, so ain't no thank you, Joe. But yeah, we don't do that. That's one thing I don't. And also, Joe, another thing I do, I make sure before I tell a story on somebody, I make sure that they might want that story told. You see what I mean? Because not everyone want a story told, right? Because I got a story with me and one of the brothers is another D, but I'm gonna find out if he want that told because he could have grandkids. He might not want his grandkids to know that he was living this kind of life. You see what I mean? So I'm very, very cognizant of not just the authorities. That's first and foremost. We ain't trying to tie nobody to nothing, and we don't play all that. And also to people's where they at in their life. People might not want their wife to know that they was out there, they was outside. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm very cognizant of that. Very cognizant, Joe. All right. So and 40, 40 just brought it up. But anyway, again, he can't, that's shoplifting. I mean, we did plenty time for all the crimes we used to do back then. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun time, 40, when I start telling our stories that we was doing. That's when we was 40, that's when we was smoking blunts and putting coke in it. We was strung out on that. Remember that, 40? Boy, all right, I'll save it. When I tell those stories, y'all gonna enjoy those stories. Those stories are actually really crazy. Like, they're really crazy, right? So anyway, all right, shout out to 40 Deuce. All right, so let me get back to my story. All right, so I finished with them at the projects, right? So I gave everybody that, right? Kevin, them, Demetrius, and them, Dave, and everybody, Shaka Z, and everybody. I gave everybody that. I'm out. So I walked from the circle, the benches, the courtyard, to go across the grass to go to get my car. This Benz on the screen. So I go to the car, get to the car. I'm looking at the beep. I'm like, all right, I got to probably somebody on the heights or something. I had to go drop off something. This when I was selling my drugs. I did my time for any crime committed back then. Okay. Just a testimony of my life, my past trials and tribulation, dark stories of tribulation. So I went and I got to the car. I Joe said, that's why you was around. Yo, that's the inside joke, Joey. That's an inside joke. I ain't even gonna let that one out. But that is probably exactly why, Joey. Now that makes sense. It's funny, Joey, because I'm like, why was I around? Duh, right, Joe? That's hilarious. Sorry, guys. That's an inside joke right there. Yeah, sorry, guys. All right. So anyway, that was funny, Joe. So I go right. I walk through the grass, and I get to my car. And I get to the car, and I'm like, I'm looking. I'm looking for my keys, and I'm like, what? Where? I'm pulling my pocket. I'm like, where's my keys? So I'm at the car and I'm like, hold on. So, you go in your inside pocket, you go in your coat pocket, you go in your pocket. When you lose something and it's supposed to be there, you start pulling out your pockets, right? You pull your pockets inside out and you know doggone well it ain't there, right? But you still looking at your, like this, like these sweatpants, right? So you pull out your pockets, right? And you looking. Look, I got headphones in these pockets, right? So you looking, now you doggone well keys ain't in there, right? But you pull it out again. You're like, hold up, did I miss? Where is my keys? You just do stupid stuff, right? So I'm pulling out my back pockets. I'm pulling out the pockets. I'll take off my coat. I'm looking, I'm like, where is my keys? And I'm like, I'm patting myself down on my legs. I'm like, where's my keys? So I'm standing there and I'm like, I'm there and I can't find them. So I do everything. My coat is off. I pat myself down. I'm just sitting there. So then you get stuck on stupid, right? You literally, I know all of y'all that went through this. Let me know if I start peaking. I think I'm peaking now because I'm probably going to get a little loud. Let me know if I peak so I can turn myself down, guys. All right. I just turned it down a little in case I get too loud. All right. So yeah, I'm probably going to start peaking. So you know how it makes you do stupid stuff, right? You literally stand there. And you know how you stand there and just look? You start looking like if you keep looking, the keys will just pop up or something. You know how you lose your wallet or something? Oh, don't lose your wallet or your driver's license or something. You know what I mean? You literally just stand there because in a way you get traumatized, right? Because in a way you stand there and you hope that just you looking to make the thing pop up. That stuff is crazy. When you lose your wallet, that's a horrible feeling. And you got all your credit cards and your license and oh my goodness, you start thinking all the crap you got to go through, right? So you stand there. So I'm standing at the car and I'm just looking like trying to wheel the keys. I'm like, come on, man, where are y'all? Like, come on. So now my beeper start blowing again because I was hustling and they be, what's the name? They be this before cell phones, guys. So when we would get a beep, we would have to go to the phone booth and you call them. Now, when people was doing drugs back then, right? Because this was the time I was selling back then. They when they beep you, you gotta, you usually talk and you be like, all right, I'll be out. You go to a phone booth and you put a dime. It's probably a dime. I don't even think it was a quarter back then to use the phone. And then you call the number on the beep, and then you let them know. They usually put a code in the beep, let you know what they want with the numbers, and then you tell them, all right, I'll be there. I'm on my way. So that way they know. So if they give you, people doing drugs, they impatient, right? Because they want their drugs. So I remember those, right? So they gonna keep beeping you, right? Because if you don't answer, they gonna call somebody else. They want to know that something's on the way. You know what I mean? Because they want their stuff, right? So they'll keep beeping you, and the beepers vibrate. You keep it on vibrate. You don't want it to go beep, 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 beep. Those were the fake people who was hustling. Back in the days, beepers was a sign, guys, of like you had some money, right? It was like, at one time, cell phones became, now everybody got a cell phone. It's kind of like having a Rolex watch. Not really, because Rolex is so expensive, but something that nowadays denotes that he got a little bit of paper, right? So the beeper, some people were front. I know 40 and JD, I know y'all remember this. Some people were front and they'll keep their beeper on noise, on volume, so it could go beep, 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 beep. So people can know they got a beeper and they seem important, right? So you say you somewhere, don't let you be trying to kick it to a girl, right? You done found some girl and you trying to kick it to a girl and all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep. She like, oh, you got a beeper? Yeah, baby. Like you important. Yeah, baby. Right? So people used to front. But the hustlers, we kept our beeper off. It's on vibrate, because you don't want to be around, mess around, get pulled over, or some mess around and cops around there, beep, 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 beep. That's the last thing you want to do when you a hustler, right? So mine is always on vibrate, you know what I mean? And y'all remember that picture I showed? I had 3 beepers on my waist. I used to have 3 beepers and 2 at a time, right? Because I was a dark street legend. I was definitely doing my dark thing. All right. So what 40 said? 40 said, I remember Kev thought he was an MC like you and Shaka X and was a DJ, and he used to be me, Beeve, Demetrius, George Greer, Ray Ray, and Big Sammy that lived in 50 Beach on the first floor, and Raheem, The Dream, and Flavor. That was our little crew. I remember that 40. I'm going to tell that story when we go back in hip hop. I'm going to tell the story, and I remember when Hank Shockley and them put them on the radio, and that's when their head got big. Remember when Kevin and them got a big, and remember Flav? Oh, you put Flav. Yeah, Flav. Yeah, 40. I'm going to tell those stories when I go back in hip hop. You know I'm going back. All right. I'm glad you reminded me too. All right. So now, guys, I'm standing there. So now I'm looking at my car and I'm like, my pockets are all out. I'm like, where's my keys? And I'm the beeper. Zzz, zzz, zzz. I'm like, oh, come on. And then if you take too long, you're going to miss that money. And to a hustler, ain't nothing worse than missing the money. Now, I'm not promoting this. This was just what we was living in the 90s, in the 80s, in the crack era, right? So I'm looking at the phone like, oh, man, where's my... So now I look under the car, right? I'm looking. I'm like, well, maybe I dropped it. I'm looking under the car. I look around the car. I look everything. And then I see one of them from the benches. I think they saw me like, yo, Rod, you all right? So I'm like, no, I'm all right. So I'm looking under all the front of the car, the other side of the car, and I'm looking, you look on top of the car, you just like anything, where's my keys? So I'm like, oh man, I don't know. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I go back across the grass to the benches. So I go across the grass. So I'm like, yo, anybody, they like, yo, what's up, Rod? You good? I'm like, nah, I lost my keys. I don't got my keys. So I'm like, so they're like, you lost your keys? I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. We start looking around because we have benches. We looking under the benches. So everybody's looking for my keys. So I'm looking, I'm like, all right, where did I go? I know I went in the projects because I went in to serve somebody or something. So I said, all right, I went inside the buildings. I'm on the first floor. I'm downstairs. I'm looking outside the vestibule where you go into the project buildings on both sides. I'm looking in the grass. They looking on the benches. They looking around. I go upstairs. I'm looking on the first floor. I'm looking on I'm like, I'm searching the whole. I come back down. My keys is gone. They looking. Nobody found them. We looking all through the grass. The keys is gone. And I always kept a big set because I always had cars. Like at this point, I think I had 5 cars at this time, right? This before I got locked up, right? I either had 5 or 4 at this time. So I always got, now I got a smaller key ring, but I have janitor set of keys, especially when I owned all my houses in North Carolina and my nightclub, my clothing store. Oh, I have a janitor set of keys, right? So I always had a lot of cars and stuff. So my keys ain't easy to lose. It's not like having a little key or a key or two on a key ring. I got a small janitor set. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you don't just drop those. They heavy. You know what I mean? And they'll make noise if they drop. They be like bling and all that, right? So I'm like, so we look, I'm like, where? Like, I don't lose. And I'm the type, guys, I don't lose things. I rarely ever. It'll be 30 years I have the same stuff and won't lose it, right? That's just not my MO. I don't lose things. You know what I mean? I lost a wallet 2 years ago only because it was slipped out of my pocket when I was in the gym and I was upside down doing some decline thing and it slid out. And that's the only reason. Other than that, I never lose things. So, stop, unique. Unique. All right. So, don't do that, unique. So, I'm glad they can't see it over on YouTube. So, I'm like, so I'm like, all right. So I'm like, you might have just helped me with something unique. Give me a second, guys, because you just gave me a piece to the puzzle that just confused me. Because I thought it was at the projects. You right. Thank you, Unique. Sorry, Unique. No, sorry, Unique. You're right. I apologize. You're correct. I thought you was giving away the story. No, you just helped me. You're right. It was White Castle. You're right. Thank you, Unique. Your memory be much better than mine. So I apologize, King. I apologize, Elder. I apologize for that. I thought you was just giving away. I thought you was dropping the story, the hint, the punch, the main thing of the story. You know how people telling the movie, and so, you know how you watching a movie and everybody got their popcorn, everybody ready to watch, and somebody come in like the maid kills everybody at the end, and then walk out. That's what I thought he was doing. I'm like, Unique, don't do that, man. What? Why would you just drop in and tell the whole punchline, the whole thing to the story? like the butler kills everybody. All right, shout out to my brother Unique. Thank you, Unique. You helped me out. I apologize again. All right. That always, guys, always, a righteous man or woman always admits when they make a mistake and apologize. Do you understand? That's very key in life. Always apologize, guys, no matter what it is. Don't ever feel that just correcting it and not apologizing is okay. Because us as humans, apologies really help to heal, to let a person understand that you really appreciate them. All right. Y'all know I'm an elder. That's just a tip for your wives, kid, anything, anybody. Always admit your error, admit when you have a fault, admit when you make a mistake, but always apologize for it. Always. All right. So now, thank you, Unique. Now, shout out to Saquon in the building. Saquon might have been with us too. Unique, you just told, I missed a very key important part, guys, that Unique just told me. It wasn't, I didn't lose it at the projects. I lost it all right, shout out to JD. All right, he said, Rock, continued success for you. I got to go. I really enjoyed you. I love you. Love you too, JD. And try to watch on the replay. You'll enjoy this story. And when I try to tell your story, JD, some of your stories, hopefully I can get Unique and somebody to message you on Facebook and let you know that I did your video, and you can watch it when you get a chance. When I give you your flowers, JD. All right, one love, Elder. All right, so now, Unique, you just helped me out. White Castle parking lot. All right? All right, now listen clearly. White Castle parking lot was the spot in the crack era after the clubs, after the roller skating ring, after whatever. We had a White Castle parking lot. It was in Hempstead, it was like West Hempstead, and everybody from Queens and Long Island, even Suffolk County, Long Island, and all that out there with Rakim and EPMD, they would come in the parking lot. Everybody, all from Queens, from Lacey's Roller, and even Brooklyn would be in there too. White Castle. I'm talking about, we're going to do White Castle stories. White Castle has its own section in history that we got a whole White Castle series of stories that's going to be told. Okay? Just on that thing is legendary. All right. So now, Unique is right. We was in White. Oh, that's even worse. Okay, so guys, let me point this picture. You are so right, Unique. You just brought all that back to my memory. Let me paint this picture. White Castle parking lot is like, after the club, a big club with thousands of people, and everybody go to this restaurant like McDonald's or White Castle in this parking lot, and it's a car show. Right? Everybody come there with their big Benzes and BMWs and whatever, Audis and Jettas and Cadillacs and Buicks and 98s and everybody there, even if you ain't got no car, you riding in the car because all the girls is there. It's the club after the club. It's literally hundreds and hundreds of people in cars parked where the parking lot is so big and full of cars that you got to park in other parking lots and walk to White Castle. The line for food, you be there not even trying to get food. All right? Yeah, you could do a White Castle store with me together, Unique. You could be there and not even try to get, you don't even got to be worried about getting food. Curtis Moore said it was like the Waffle House in Atlanta. Yes, huge. All right? So 40 said that, Curtis Moore. So White Castle was so, and 40, 40 was a hustler's hustler. Sorry, guys, I'm intermingling, but I got to do this one. 40 knew, like, if 40 went out boosting, right? Shoplifting, 40 was the booster king. I'm talking about 40 would walk. I'm talking about, listen, guys, 40 got that stuff, though. 40 ain't boosting no cheap stuff. 40 is boosting quality. He ain't getting you no, I don't know. He ain't getting you no, what they call those stores? Fashion Nova, that stuff they got online now. Sorry, I know the girls know what that stuff is. Oh, no. 40 getting you Gucci he practically boosted from the Gucci store and stuff. He getting you that stuff, right? 40 coming through with quality, Pele's, Woolrich. He coming through with, right? So 40 would even come to White Castle, right? Parking lot with he'd be like, yo, because he know all the ball, everybody there. He like, yo. Whenever you see 40, you literally like, yo, what you got? That's me. Yo, 40, what you got? And funny, 40 know this. 40 didn't like mess with me because I'm really cheap. Not cheap, I'm frugal. So I'm always trying to get a discount, and 40 is not having it. 40 like, rah. I'm in one time, 40, you remember this? I'm in one time 40 stopped selling to me. 40 is like, I ain't selling you, rah, because you don't want to spend no money. Because, See, 40 was a booster. Most boosters were crackheads, right? Most boosters were crackheads where they would steal the clothes or whatever. And I'm going to say it because I don't want to tell too much of it because he was not only doing, they was doing, 40 could get anything, right? So 40 one time, he stopped selling to me because he like, yo, Ra, I ain't got nothing. I'm like, dudes, come on, man. I know you got something. I ain't mess with you, Ra, because you don't want to spend no money because I'm going to look at the thing. So let's say 40 got a coat that costs $1,000 in the store, literally in Abraham and Strauss, A&S or Macy's or Nordstrom or whatever, right? He got $1,000 coat. I'm trying to look. 40 say, yeah, you was tight with that bread, right? And you know I got money, right? Because I got thousands in my pocket. But I'm looking at 40. I'm like, come on, Deuce. I'm like, I'm trying to give 40 maybe $100. So I'm trying to give 40 crackhead prices. 40 ain't no crackhead. 40 is not having it, right? And I know he ain't no crackhead, but I was just tight. He right. I'm tight with my money. Cause I just didn't like spending my money. I risked my life for it. So I'm like, So I'm like, yo, 40. Come on, 40. Give me $100. 40, like, right, if you don't take that $100 and wipe your butt with it, 40 be like, if you don't get that $100 out my face, because he know he gonna get 600-700 from the hustlers, the ballers. You know what I mean? 40 is not, and he ain't selling it to you if he can't get it. Let me explain. So 40 was not. I guess this didn't turn into a 40 show. 40, you here now? It's going. You just entered this show tonight. Let me explain. 40 is not thirsty. He was the booster, right? And he always riding with somebody. He always got a crew of them, right? So he always in the car. He got his little frames on. He fly because he a booster. So he got Yves Saint Laurent flames on, Chanel or something, and he got all these expensive clothes. He boosting it all, so, you know. So anyway. And he got money because he's making so much money selling this stuff. 40, that was his hustle, right? So 40 is not the thirsty booster. Most boosters, they crackheads. So they like, you could talk them down, right? Now they got a coat, it costs $1,000, right? Let's say they got official Pele leather they stole, and it costs like $1,200 in the store, right? You there, you catch them late at night, it's 2 a.m. They like, yo, I gotta get at least 400 for this. I gotta get at least for you. Like, I'm like, listen, man, I got 100 and a couple of dimes or something, right? I'm trying to get it for the low. 40, you ain't getting nothing for the low with 40. He gonna give you a deal. 40 knew how much to price it, and I done seen him plenty times. Unique, I'm gonna tell the story with me, you, 40. Remember the green? Don't tell it. Don't put it in the chat though, Unique. Wait, the green, Diane's car, the green Regal. When we was going, I'm gonna tell the stories. Me, you, 40, Ray, all of us. All right. So anyway, when I go back, 40. I done seen 40 plenty times not sell the stuff. He'll come back to the car. Now we gotta. At that time, we was putting coke in our weed, and we had a habit. Like we were like fiends. I'm sorry. Now we functional. I got money. I'm the man. But we kind of fiends. Like that stuff have you addicted to it, right? So we addicted to putting the coke in the blunt. So 40 would go, and we thinking 40 about to come back with like 500-600 and everything, so we can get high and do what we gotta do. And 40. He ain't got nothing. I'm like, 40, what you do? I ain't selling them nothing. They ain't coming right. I'm like, he'll put the stuff back in the car, and 40 won't sell you nothing until he can get his price for it. Facts. So anyway, all right. So that's 40 Watt, 40 Deuce. And Unique, yeah, I'm going to tell a story when we named him 40 Deuce. Yeah, when we took him to the Deuce too. All right. So when I go back in these stories. So anyway, and shout out to Little 40 from Parkside. That's where his nephew got his name from. I think that's his nephew or cousin, Little 40. All right, so anyway, 40 Deuce, 42nd Street. For those from New York, that's 42nd Street in Manhattan during the crack era. If anybody know about the 80s and 42nd Street, then y'all already have an idea. So anyway, let me get back. So White Castle parking lot, guys, was the club. Unique, I'm so glad you said this because I was wrong. So we are in White Castle, right? And it's the club. Girls, I got all these my big chains on and everything, and my crew, we in the car, right? I always have a crew. Saquon might have been with us. I know Unique was with us because he remembered the story. And so we in White Castle, and what you would do, we would stay in White Castle because it'd be so many people there and girls and talking. We were staying there until the daylight come out. To everybody, the parking lot empty. We in there, and White Castle never kick you out because you get up and get more burgers. Those little murder burgers. Those little small little burgers. We call them murder burgers. Murder ones, right? Those little white kids. Those things was good though. Ain't nothing like a New York White Castle, right? So people come from all over the world to get that in White Castle. Shout out to Joanne McClinic in the building. All right, shout out to Joanne. So we in White Castle, right? And we there, and I remember that's who was there. Shaka Z, Kev Rob, Beef, they crew. The same crew I named, I just had the location wrong. It wasn't the projects, it was White Castle. And that even make it worse. So we at White Castle. Now we done finished the whole night. So now all of a sudden, we ready to leave, right? We out. So my crew, all right, yo, we out. I'm out, y'all. Come on. So somebody might be kicking at the girls. Somebody might be over here. They doing all this stuff. So I'm like, we out. So we give everybody dap, right? And so we go out in the same scenario that I just said, but instead it's White Castle. And it's still people in the parking lot. It's still girls. It's still people cars. It's still, so we get out to go to the car, and our car is the car you see on the screen. So, you know, our car famous, people know us and everything. So I get to the car and the same thing. I'm like, no keys. So I'm looking, right? And Joanne said, talking, I'm definitely remember that White Castle. So I'm pulling out my pockets, same scenario. So I'm so glad you told me, Unique. This was white. That makes it even worse. I'm pulling out my pockets. I'm looking under the car. I'm doing everything. So I'm like, where's my keys? So we looking. So now everybody in my car, we looking. Yo, Rob, where the keys? We lost the keys. So it says me, you, Saquon, and Dial X. Thank you. Unique memory is crazy. I'm glad, boy, your memory is so sharper than mine. I got a good one, but I can't remember the smallest details. So thank you, Unique. So we looking all under the car. We looking everywhere. We're like, yo, so we stuck. We ain't got no keys. And like people looking, like, so you see people looking, talking to girls looking like, oh, they lost their keys. Maybe so now we trying to look through the tent window. Y'all know, guys, you know, we trying to look in the car to see if the keys are in the car. Because, you know, you can leave the keys in the ignition or the keys in the car and stuff. All right. Remember the letters that was left on the window white? All right, I'm going to get there too. I'm going to tell that story when we go back. I'm going to go back when I start telling the 98 posse stories and stuff with the cars. So we looking, trying to look in the car, and it ain't in the ignition. We looking through the front for the seats. It ain't on the seats. And I'm like, and I don't think you could, I think you could have locked it in. I'm not sure if it was that technology where you couldn't lock it in or not, but it wasn't in the car. So we searching all under the car. We looking. So now we go inside White Castle. So we go in White Castle, and now we like, okay, it must have dropped out my pocket or something in White Castle. And we looking, oh, Unique, I'm so glad you told me this. We looking through White Castle. So we all in there, down, and they go to the front, they go to the back. We go to Kev and them and Beav and them, and we like, yo, y'all see, they like, what, y'all see the keys? Y'all seen the keys? Oh, you dropped your keys? We like, yeah. So we all looking through the White Castle. We searching everybody. Now, you know how, guys, I'm so glad you remind me, Unique. Now I'm starting to look at people. You know, that stuff you know when your mind play tricks on you and it start have you tripping out, right? So I'm looking at people, and you know how you'll look at somebody and he'll look at you and just turn his head. You're like, oh, he look guilty. Yo, your mind will play tricks on you for real. With stuff like that happen. So I'm looking at people, I'm looking at people trying to see, he probably got my keys. We go to the people behind the counter in White Castle. Excuse me, did anybody bring any keys up here? They like, no. So I'm looking, and every time someone get their food and walk out, I'm like, don't let them leave. Like we ready to hold people hostage, right? I'm following people out to the parking lot. Like, yo, my man, excuse me, did you find some keys? You got some keys? And I'm trying to look for you to be like, no, I ain't got no keys. You know, you trying to look in their eye like, look for a sign that they lying. That stuff that have you tripping. Yeah, it'll literally have you tripping out. All right. So we looking. All right. Now we search White Castle up and down. White Castle up and down. Now it's getting daylight. No keys. Oh, Unique. You really saved this story, because I would have left the most important part. I thought it was at the projects. I'm gonna show y'all why I thought it was at the projects in a second when I get there. So we in there now. We looking everywhere. So we practically searched everybody that came out of that White Castle. We was even behind the counter telling the workers, like, could you search the workers? They were like, listen, we're gonna call the cops on you. Nobody has your keys here. We like, somebody got these keys, right? We was losing it. Somebody got these keys. Like, we need our keys. So now Oh, it's emptying out. It's daytime. Even Kev Robinson and them, I don't know who car they was in. They was like, all right, Rob, we out. You know what I mean? They was leaving. So they left. Now we left in White Castle. It's like 7 in the morning, full daytime. We done partied all night. Usually want to have White Castle, mess with some girls, do whatever, have fun, and then I go drop them off and I go home. You want to go to bed. You tired. It's 7 in the morning. We stuck at White Castle with this big Benz in the parking lot. Yeah, Unique said we searched everybody. True talk. We searched everybody. Literally. Everybody that was in there. Literally. And it was gone. So now we like, all right, we gotta call a tow truck. So the first thing we gotta call a tow truck. So we call a tow truck, and Unique, I think then we took the car to Unique house. Yeah, because I know I didn't want to tow it to Queens would have been a lot of money. And Unique lived right practically up the street from that White Castle. So we find now, just so y'all know, after partying all night, it's 7 in the morning. You know, you want to go home and go to bed. I'm about to. And if I forget some part, Unique, remind me, because your memory is sharper than mine. If I forget anything, just remind me. So we you know, you ready to go to bed. Now it's 7 in the morning. We tired. You know, your high come down. He said we told it to Lakeview. Your high come down. Now we gotta get a tow truck. Now you gotta wait for the tow truck man and all that, right? So we call a tow truck man and all that, right? Everybody gone, right? The White Castle people making breakfast for the next day type of thing. People coming to work in the morning, right? So now the tow truck man finally come. He tows the Benz to Lakeview. We tow the Benz to Lakeview. Now we in Lakeview. Now it's like 10 o'clock in the morning or something. And I know Pam is tripping because, you know, Pam gonna trip if I don't get home usually around 6 or something in the morning. She don't, you know, she like, listen, I could be dead or locked up somewhere in jail or something. So I already know, y'all already know about Pam, right? So I'm already like shook a little bit. I'm like, Pam gonna kill me. Even Unique and them know that. They're like, yo, Rod, you better, because I don't got no phone. There's no phone in our house because we don't play phones. So guys, during the crack era, we didn't do phones. Like, you don't have a phone in your house. You don't do, because the police, see, when we was living that life, this is a different life. That's what I say, you don't want to live that life. You're not normal. You know, normal people have a house phone, right? That you could call the phone. Oh, no. When you was selling crack during the crack, and you smart, you wasn't having no connections to you. There'd be no phones, none of that. So ain't no phone to call or nothing. I know Pam gonna be tripping, right? I'm like, Pam ain't about, but she gonna be trying to kill me. And Unique and I'm like, all right, now you know Pam, we need to hurry up and get you home before Pam, right? So now we get the car to Lakeview, and now I'm like, okay, how am I gonna get home? You know, like I gotta get all the way to Queens. I think I took a cab. Unique, you might remember. I think I paid a cab. That's a lot of money going from Lakeview to Farmers Boulevard in Queens where I live or something. But before that, oh, no, I didn't. I remember. No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. All right, sorry. Unique might can help me. All right, let me try to, sorry, guys. All my memories ain't the clearest. That's how you know these true stories. I can't remember every little detail. This is what I think happened for the most part. It's one of these two scenarios, but I think this was the scenario. I think I took a cab finally, and Unique said, yeah, you took a cab. So I took a cab to Queens because I got to get to Pam before she start tripping. You know what I mean? She's going to really get worried. And so I took a cab to Queens. So when I got to Queens, now I got more cars, right? I got like 5 cars. So now when I get to Queens, now I got another car. You know what I mean? So I took the cab to Queens, and I get home, and Pam is tripping, of course. So I tell her like, yo, I lost the keys in White Castle Parkland and all this. I'm like, the Benz. So she like, I gotta convince her because she thinking I'm lying. You know what I mean? She thinking I'm tripping. And I'm like, no, I'm seriously, like, I got to get my business at Unique House in Lakeview. So I don't know what to do. So I started looking through the yellow pages. I have yellow pages. So I'm like, I got to get in my car. I got to get a key. Like, I lost my keys. So I don't have a key to my Benz. Okay? Yeah, I'm about to tell a story. And if I forget anything, you make sure you remind me, Unique. So I remember I didn't go to sleep. So I started calling these locksmith. The guys, they got these guys that'll come. Y'all know now, this is 1991, guy, 1990. So it ain't 2000s where they got all this technology now. Now, I started calling these locksmith guys, auto car locksmith. You lock your keys or you lose, and they will Pam said already. Pam was not believing that ish. She ain't believing nothing. She didn't believe it the whole time until I got so mad and she didn't believe none of that the whole time until she seen how mad I was when what I'm about to tell I tell. So then I call the people. I'm calling these people, and they like, oh, you got the a 500 SEL, and I'm like, yeah, it's the what's the name edition? It's the German edition. What they call not Brabus. What do they call? Dad, what's that called? German ones. Not Brabus. I'm sorry, I can't think of it now. It's at the tip of my memory. All right, maybe it'll come later. But my car was German, meaning everything inside written was German. Even the writing inside the car was written. Whoever owned it shipped it from Germany. It was literally a German Mercedes, okay? And everything was written in German. Even where the stuff is written inside the car, you couldn't even read it. I used to love it. It was dope, right? So when I gave them the VIN number and everything to the car, they was like, oh no. Because they told me, okay, so they said, oh, you got the 500 SEL? I'm like, yeah. So they said, oh, okay, well, sorry. That car, they said it's going to be, I think they said it's going to be $450, like $500 for us to come and get the key. So I'm like, $500? 40 Deuce just told you I was already tight. Like, I was tight with my money. Like, I had nice things. Look, my car is expensive, but I don't like wasting money because I risk my life for it, hustling and selling the drugs. So I didn't play with my money. So I'm like, $500? Telling me $500 is like saying 50 million. Facts. I'm like, 500 for nothing? For me losing my key? I'm like, what? I said, listen, I ain't trying to get you to give me a new door on my Mercedes. I said, I want you to make me a new key, meaning make a key. I need a key to get in my ignition. So they got to make a key. I'm calling locksmith, auto locksmith, Duzupu specialized. He said, no. They said, well, this is sorry. You own a Mercedes. You own, it's going to be $500 something. So I said, oh, so I said, all right, you know what? Okay, cool. I'll call you back. Right? So I'm calling other people. They actually going up. The other person said, oh, it's going to cost $575. Okay, I'll call you back. I call another person. The other person said, oh, it's going to be $660. I'm like, damn. I call another person. Oh, it's going to be $575, $580, $590. So I said, okay, I call about 7 people, everybody going up. So I said, well, this dude gave me the best price. So I call the first dude back. So I'm like, all right. He said, all right, $500. You got the money? I'm like, yes. I said, so when you going to come out? He said, oh, well, we'll be there in a couple of hours. And so he said, it's going to take hours to get done because we have to make your key. What they have to do, what he said they're going to have to do is they're going to have to come to the car, take the lock, do something where they take the lock and they do something where they make a clone key to the lock and clone it and they gotta make a key, literally make it, some locksmith stuff, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So he said, all right, give me the the information for the car, the registration and stuff. So I give him the information for the car and stuff, and then he goes, uh-oh. So I'm like, uh-oh. I don't want to hear uh-oh. What do you mean uh-oh? He's like, oh no, sorry. Wrong quote. Wrong quote. I said, what do you mean wrong quote? He said, oh, this gonna cost you a lot more. I'm like, what do you mean a lot more? He said, He said, that car's German. I said, oh, I know it's German. He said, well, you should have told me it was German. This car, that $500 quote, hold on, I'll be back. Hold on, just hold. I hold, so I'm like, this dude says it's gonna be more than 500. So I'm like, oh man, now he's gonna probably say like 650, 700, $600 or something. I'm like, come on, bro. I ain't trying to spend no 600. I'm tight, guys, meaning I don't like wasting money, right? So I'm like, come on, bro. So then he come back on the phone, right? He like, oh, you ain't gonna like this. You didn't like 500. I said, yo, bro, what are you talking about? He said, you ain't gonna like this number. I said, what's the number? He said, to fix that car? He said, let me explain to you first of all. That car has something, he said, what you call a skeleton key. So I said, skeleton key? He said, oh no, that's just not a normal Mercedes. He said, your car has a skeleton key from Germany, and everyone cannot duplicate that key. It's almost induplicatable. It's a what's the name thing for people to stop people from stealing it. He said, oh no, I got to send it. He said, I got to get the specialist. I got to bring a specialist to come here to do this and work it, because I can't do it. Normal people can't do it, but I know the specialist, and he has to come from Manhattan. He said, so it's going to take a little longer. It won't even, if you're going to get it done, it won't be done till later today. We won't be able to get out there till later today. So I'm like, well, how much? He said, okay, let me carry the, he don't carry the 1, multiply the 5, subtract the 2. Like, I'm like, yo, bro, come on, man, stop playing. He, oh no, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. He said, carry the 1, carry the 2. He said, oh, that's gonna come up to $1,755. This is my mouth. I'm like, yo, stop playing, man. Stop playing. He said, oh, no, sir. I am not playing. This will cost you $1,765 and such cents. And I'm going to need that up front because I have to pay the specialist to come from Manhattan. So, and I'm like, he said, and trust me, you want me to do this now. He said, so I already know when I knew you was, listen, he said, I knew you was going to call me back because I knew what you did. After you hung up with me the first time, you started calling other locksmiths and they quoted you higher prices. Am I right? and I said, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So he says, all right. He said, so this is what I'm going to do. He said, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. He said, call other people and then call me back. But you got 5 minutes to call me back. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste my time messing with he said, I'm doing this because you're stuck. And I know you're going to be really stuck with that car. Almost nobody. It's going to be possible for you to find someone that can get that car. And if you go through Mercedes, you're talking thousands and thousands, maybe $5,000 to $7,000 for Mercedes to get, because it's coming from Germany. So I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to call your other people, but make sure you call me back before 5 minutes. So I said, okay. I hung up the phone. I called other people. I gave them the VIN number. It was like, oh no, you need to call Mercedes. I call the next person. Oh, no, nobody can do this car. You need to call Mercedes. I call the next person. Oh, sorry, nobody can do this car. That was it. The third person, I called back. He said, 4 minutes and such, smart man. I said, $1,700? I'm like, come on, bro, you can't reduce it? And I'm talking, like I could squeeze water out of a well. I swear I am haggler king. So I'm going back and forth, and he's like, all right, the best I can do is I can do $1,700. He said, now I'm taking the $50 off, the $50 fee for me getting the dude. He's like, and are you lucky? He's saying, if you haggle this, I'm going to hang up this phone and you will not have your car. Go pay Mercedes $5,000 and tell me how that feel. I said, all right, $1,700. He said, all right. So I said, well, I got cash, right? I don't got credit cards. Remember, I was a hustler. It's the 90s. I'm like, I got cash. So he's like, I'm like, that's all I got. I said, bro, I got a German 500 Mercedes. So you know I got the money. He said, all right, you're going to have the money when we get there. I said, I'll have the money. So I gave him the address to Unique House. He told me we'll be there like 3 p.m., 4 p.m. or something, because it's going to take the dude to come from Manhattan and all this stuff. So now I ain't been to sleep from us partying the night before, me hustling and all that stuff we've been doing. I ain't been to sleep yet. So I get off the phone with him. I'm like, $1,700. So I start grabbing my money to get $1,700 together. So I tell Pam and everything, all right, he ain't gonna be, we gotta go. We gotta go. So she gotta go with me because she gotta drive. Because now when they get my car open, I need her to drive my car back. So she gotta go with us. So now we gotta get the kids up. So now we gotta wait. The kids are already up. Sorry, they already up because it's full-fledged daytime. My bad. But Rashawn, y'all remember the little Viking? He's her brat. Rashawn was horrible. So we don't never want to deal with Rashawn, right? So it's like, oh my goodness, now we got to deal with Rashawn but Rashawn love Unique. So, and Shanique and them. So the fact that we go in the Unique House, he's straight. Because long as we bring in Rashawn to Unique House, he's straight. He just love Unique and Shanique and them. He just like Unique House, so he good. So he like, oh, we going to Daddy U House, Unique House, so Rashawn will be straight. So anyway, we do all that stuff. We get together. Now we head to Unique House, right? We head there about 2 p.m. We get there. I tell Unique and them, they up now. I tell Unique and them, what's going on? They're like, dang, bro, 1,700. So I'm like, yeah, 1,700. Hold on, let me put Unique's comment up. Like 1,700, right? He said, you can't make this stuff up. This is real. I put my word as bond on this story. So I'm like 17, like, dang, bro. I'm like, yeah, man. They're telling everything. Yeah, got some skeleton key, and this dude got to come from Manhattan, all this specialist, everything. So finally, we there and everything. The dude, they come. They finally come. We meet him outside. It's in the backyard, the little cul-de-sac in the back. So they there, and they working on the car. So we in Unique House, everything. They working on the car for hours. Finally, they come I come back out. He like, we got it. And finally, first they had to get in the car. So once they got in, for them to break into the car was impossible because of the German engineering. So they got into the car, they got the door open. That was the first hurdle. So they was like, yes, that's a good sign. Because they were stuck trying to get into the car. And he was like, if we can't get in, he told me, he said, if we can't get inside this car, you're screwed. You got to go to Mercedes. So I'm like, I was hoping, I ain't believe in God then, but if I did, I'll be saying, yeah, please, please let them get inside this car. So finally they got in the car. I said, that's a good sign. So we got in the car, we good. Because now they can they got to take the ignition out of the car. Take the ignition out, and then he's going to clone and make a key. So they do all that. That took forever. So finally, they finished. They're like, it's done. Here's your key. And they already started the car. And I'm like, yes, yes. Now I lost all my other keys, but my car. I got my car back. So I gave them their $1,700. $1,700. That you know how you stick money out and you want to pull it back and someone reach you. He like, if you don't give me this money, I'm like, come on, bro. What about 1,000? He like, I was like, no, here. Thank you. You know, I don't play. One thing, I am a man of honor, meaning I'm so thankful that they did it. So I gave him the $1,700 and they said, all right, it's done. I got my key. Now it's probably like 5, 6, you know, whatever, late. We ain't been to sleep at all. Now I'm like, all right. So I go back and we tell Unique and everything is done. So I'm like, all right, I'm going home because I got to go to bed so that I could come out later that night and hustle, right? I ain't been to sleep yet. So we do everything. We pack up, pack little Rashawn and starting them up. Pam driving my other car. I'm driving the Benz. We go back to Queens. All right, we go back to Queens. Oh boy. Here we go. We go back to Queens. Cool. We come back. I go hustle that night. I go to hustle that night and I come to the hood, and the hood, everybody in the hood know about the story because of White Castle. So Unique, you can help me if you remember how this info came out. So anyway, I get to the hood and people coming up like, yo, Ra, we heard about the Benz. That's crazy. But some people come up and be like, some person came up and was like, yo, Ra, I heard about the Benz. I know you gonna kill him. I'm like, kill him? I don't know. Somebody else come up, yo, Ra, that story crazy. That ain't cool, bro. That's foul. I'm like, what is people talking about? I don't know if Unique remember, but I don't remember. I'm piecing together, guys. And I just remember I'm out there and people coming up and I'm here. I'm like, what are they talking about? And somehow Unique or somebody, a Dow or somebody who you realize it was who it was. Okay. All right. So somebody said, yo, I don't know who it was, but somebody said, yo, that's messed up what Beeve did to you. I said, Beeve? What you talking about? That's messed up, bro. That's foul. Why would he do that? I'm like, do what? Oh, you don't know? I'm like, know what? You don't know Beeve took your keys? I'm like, what do you mean Beeve took my keys? Now the crew was Kev, Beeve, Shaka Z, Demetrius, and the rest of them. And like, you don't know Beeve took your keys? I'm like, what do you mean Beeve took my keys? Oh, wow, man. He said he's sorry. Unique. That's what I thought it was you, Unique. I thought it was you. That's what I thought it was you. So Unique like, you don't know Beeve took the keys? And I'm like, what? You like, I remember this, Unique. Yeah, he like, yo, he's scared, Ra. He's scared, Ra. He like, I lost my mind. I said, what? Yo, Ra, he was playing. What do you mean he was playing? So Unique, I guess Unique told me the story. We were in White Castle that night, and we were all, doing what we do in White Castle. And I took my keys out, and they were on the table in White Castle. The keys were just on the table. Maybe I went up, to go get some food or go holler at somebody or something like that or whatever. And Beeve, while we all at the table, Beeve took the keys, and nobody seen it, and put it in his pocket. My keys. he took the keys and he was joking. I don't know what. I wish Beav was here. I wish he was here because I would love to ask him what was going through your mind. Now, it's one thing to take him, but it's another thing to take him and go home with him. Yes, Tawana. And the Tawana, the 1700. Now, I was already tight. I'm glad I told the story with 40 dudes to 40, let you know I was tight with my money, right? And then what I went through, Tawana, I mean, I ain't been to sleep the whole day. We going back and forth, the kids, we driving, the stress. It was so, I mean, that thing, it took me through almost a 24-hour ordeal. And it almost, Tawana, cost me $5,000 to $7,000. Let me explain something to y'all right now. If I would have had to go through the Mercedes and spend 5 to 7, I think I had the 5 to 7 at that time. I probably would have, I don't know. I'd probably still be in jail right now. So, I don't know. I would love to ask you, B. B, when you watch this, please, for the sake of all who know the story and for those who hearing it, please, B, let us know what was going through your mind when you took it. Now, okay, cool. Take the keys to see us get stressed, but to go home, but to leave us stranded and stuck at White Castle, and to get in whoever car, cab car, whoever, and go home with the keys and not get that. I want to know. Please, be whatever. You know I forgive you, right? Please, for all of us, and especially us Unique and all of us who went through the experience, because we were stranded at White Castle, but I had to go through. And Unique said, you lost your mind and it was funny, but not funny. He took the keys and nobody seen him take them and not give them back and make us go through it. Like, yeah, nobody seen him take them off the table. Because Shaka would have told me, Kev, nobody, they would have, if they would have knew, they would have definitely been like, don't give them, like, okay, you making a joke. The joke would have been when they get to the car, their keys is gone, right? All right, when I get there, Unique, the keys was gone. And the joke is like, okay, by the time we ready to call a tow truck or something, like, here you go, right? I was ready to kill you then, but it would have been all in the joke, right? Don't play with me, because I don't play games anyway. I nothing like that, right? I don't like people joking, snapping on me, and I'm not the type that you snap on. I don't got that sense of, like, even funny as I am, I don't like it. Like, so I don't snap on people because I don't like to be snapped on. I'm one of those. I can't take the people laughing at me. It makes me, it gets me, it's a flaw that I have in my personality. So I get mad really fast. I stop it right away. No, don't snap on me. Don't joke on me. Don't make me look crazy to other. I don't know. It's just a flaw in my personality. Right. So like doing a prank like that on me, that's not that. Oh, absolutely. I was never bullied. I was the different daughter of Yamashan. I was a different breed. I was the type that stopped the bullies from bullying people. I was popular. I wasn't no bully. You lost, no disrespect. Bully, you got the wrong. You turn that to the other side. I was the man. You know, I was always fly. I mean, I'm just is what it is, just what it was. But I was a good person. I was a protector. I always took care of those who were bullied. Okay, I didn't like bullies. I was never bullied. No. I'm from the slums. We used to go in. We had that. All right. So now, but I didn't. I just don't like. And okay, let me explain to her. She was thinking maybe because I was bullied. No, it's because inside of me, the Most High placed a certain level of pride. I know what it is now. He placed a certain level of pride, like what you call that? with like a king royalty. Like I always saw myself, and I didn't know why, right? I had no reason for it. I grew up in the projects, no mom and dad. There's no reason why I should feel like I'm a powerful, strong, king, like a king. So I didn't like, that's why I didn't like people clowning me or making me try to look like, I always carried myself with respect. Anybody know that? Everybody here, they know, they can never, ever know a time that I didn't carry myself with honor, respect, and always try to look, respect, clean, like noble. That's my character. I don't do things. That's just who I was. So, all right. So now, Unique is telling me, nah, Ra. So I'm losing my mind when you told me. Because I'm like, yeah, I was a bully beater. Facts. And if I can't beat you, we going to jump you. I'm going to go get some of my boys and we going to stop you. Facts. I don't like bullies. Never did. I don't like people that mess with people who can't defend themselves and stuff like that. I'm a defender of the weak. Always. To this day, still. I don't play that. It's just something. Anyway. So I'm losing my mind because everything is playing back in the 1700 and what I went through and I'm like, yo, I'm a kill Beef. That's the only thing. I'm like, I'm a kill Beef. I'm gonna kill him. And Unique is like, no, Ra. Nah, calm down, Ra. Nah, he already scared, Ra. I said, where's my keys? I think he gave them to George Greer, because George used to hang out with him too, or Shaka, or somebody, or he might have gave him to Unique. I don't remember Unique. Unique said, King, we didn't understand, but the Most High always protected us, always defended. Yeah. So he, P. Shamika, he gave him to somebody, and he was hiding, right? So the next day, because this is nighttime, I'm out hustling. So I'm like, where you at? They're like, he ain't around, Ra. He said he hiding, Ra. He everybody. So I'm like, nah, I'm going to find him. So I went to the projects and I tried to find Kevin and I found Kevin, Demetrius and Demetrius like, yo, Ra, he's sorry, Ra. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna kill him. Where you at? I'm like, I'm going to his house. I'm going to his house. They're like, no, Ra. I'm like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm losing my mind. I mean, I cannot believe this boy took my keys and he didn't give them back and he made me go through all this. And this is like 2 days later, I'm getting my keys. Are you crazy? I'm going insane. So I'm like, no. So they all like, Ra, that's B, Ra. I'm like, oh. I went to his house because he lived. Oh, Adams Court was there then. Yes, Adams Court was there because Beav, I think he lived in Adams Court, if I remember correctly. I think he did, right? So Adams Court was there. That's right. Adams Court was there because I remember they built that back in the day. We used to play on the big mountains when we was little kids, on the big sand mountains. Yeah, Adams Court was there. So I go over to Beav. 2 days. I go over to Beav to his apartment, and I'm like, boo, 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 boo. They like, Ra, his mama, because Beav lived with his mama, and she was a little older, and I'm like, and I don't disrespect old people, right? I have respect for elders, the elderly. I don't, but I'm going insane. I can't. I'm blacked out. You know how you black out? I'm in blackout mode. I can't even believe I'm losing I'm banging on the door, boo, 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 boo. And they like, they trying to, they all trying to stop me. And then the mom, she come down and Kev is like, we're sorry, miss, I forgot his last name. We're sorry, miss such and such. We're sorry, miss such and such. And I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. But your son, he took my keys. She like, huh? And they trying to explain and I'm pissed and I'm trying not to disrespect her. You know what I mean? And I'm like, could you go get him, ma'am? Sorry, go get him. And then they like, yo, Rob, come there. And they going on. And then all of a sudden, he opened I think the window, if I remember correctly. or something, or he was behind her on the steps or something. But I just remember I was like, Dave, he's like, I'm sorry, Ron, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. And I wanted to rush in the house, but they grabbed me and his mom, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go past his mom. And I'm like, babe, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Like, Ron, I gave you back the keys. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you, bro. I'm like, yo, guys, oh my goodness, bro. He have no idea what I went through. I'm like, you have no idea what you put me through. Joking? Playing? Who does that? Who takes someone's keys and doesn't give them back for 2 days? Are you crazy? So I'm going crazy. So, they're like, yo, Rod, she gonna call the cops. So I'm like, I'm gonna kill you, Beef. I'm gonna kill you. When I see you, you dead. When I see you dead, I'm gonna beat the brakes off Beef. I'm like, I'm gonna beat the brakes off Beef. And I'm like, so, I'm sorry for Kev. I'm sorry that's your boy, but I'm gonna beat the brakes off Beef. I'm sorry. So we get back to the projects. I can't even function. Like, you so angry, you shaking. You know what I mean? I'm like, and they trying to calm me down here, I smoke some weed, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to smoke, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill Beef. I'm gonna kill Beef. I'm gonna kill Beef. I'm like, so then they like, right, so Kev and them is like, that's their boy. They love him. They tight, right? And like, man, that's Lil Beef. And I'm like, I'm gonna kill Beef. I'm gonna kill Lil Beef. Ain't nobody can tell me nothing. I am going to strangle this boy. I am going to beat the brakes off him. So then, I'm like, when I see him, it's on site. Now, it's before we had that on site thing. So then the next day turned to the next day. No Beef. Next day to the next day. No Beef. I'm hiding. I'm in the court. I'm in what's the name parking lot. I'm driving my other cars, my hoopty, but they know, most people know all 5 of my cars for most of the part. I'm driving my other car. I'm in the parking lot trying to catch him. He hiding out. He doing a great job too, right? Beef is slick, right? Beef is a slickster. So he hiding out. And then somebody told me, one of my boys told me, he said, Ra, every time you come, he already got people, his boys on the lookout, that whenever Ra come, he take off. He said, one time, Ra, you just missed him. You pulled up and you almost saw him, and he ducked down and hid and ran around the park. And he hid around the back. And then when you went past, he came out around and went around the back and went to his house. So he was hiding it lasted for like a month, but it didn't calm me down. I wanted to kill him. So then everybody all the time was like, Ra, let it go, Ra. Let it go. I'm like, I ain't letting that go. Oh, so then I was like, first of all, he need to pay me $1,700. He got to pay that. You got to pay that. And he didn't have no real money, right? Because, most people were hustling, but they were small. Most people small time. So he didn't have the money. But I'm like, he need to pay that, and I'm still beating his butt. If he pay me back, then he's just going to get a regular butt whooping. If he don't pay me back, I'm going to kill him. That kill means, let me clarify that for the authorities and stuff. In the hood, when we say we're going to kill him, that means we're going to beat him up really bad. Okay? Not I'm going to take his life. I'm not going to take his life. I'm not a killer. All right? But when we used to say I'm going to kill him, we got that for the authorities. We got that from our parents. Our parents used to say, I'm going to kill you, and they beat the mess out of us, right? But they didn't kill us. Now, we know we got some sick parents who did kill their children, so I'm just explaining this terminology of me saying I'm going to kill him, right? That means I'm going to beat him bad. So he started to try to pay the money back. So he was sending the money through somebody, maybe Shaka Z, maybe he was sending the money to somebody. $30 at a time, $50. I'm like, man, it's gonna be forever before it gets 1,700. And Rod, you know, Beav ain't got no money. Like you, I'm like, well, he gotta pay it back. I'm like, well, he gonna be hiding forever. And he was hiding forever. So, Unique in the, So about a month passed. And fam, but the next day, Unique said he wasn't trying to disrespect his mother and family, but it was the next day. He gave to George. He gave the keys to George. He was hiding and you came through. Okay, all right, there we go. So he gave the keys to George Greer. All right. Shout out to George and Melita. Shout out to the Greer family. R.I.P. to Tank, Crown Hempstead Heights legend. I'm gonna tell a story about Tank Greer, and when I go back in Hempstead stories, I'm tell a story. Hempstead Crown Heights legend Tank. All right, so fast forward. He been sending his little money through whatever, and he hiding. They telling me every time I come, they like, you just missed him, or he ran through the backside of the projects, or he saw you come in the dead end and he ran in the projects and went over the roof and went down 71 side and went over, right? He hide. So I'm like, so one day I pull up and I think Unique said it was 67 side of the projects. I don't know what happened. I think my car was parked on 71 side or 50 side. And I was serving somebody in the projects and I came around the building. I walked around to 67 side. So I walk around and I look and I see him. I see him and I see him with his boys, with Kev and Shaka and all them. And Unique and them was out there because Unique said you caught him on the benches in the circle on 67 and 63 side. He said it was about a month later. So I come around and I see him. And everybody, we be out on the benches. 67 was the side that was popping. And we be smoking and just, and that's where Campbell Park, the park was. And people have a box. Back then we had big radios. We call it a box, a boom box. Like that LL Cool J, I can't live without my radio. So somebody have a big boom box. These are the 80s, 90s. It's the hip hop era. Big boom box. Somebody have a box out there banging. We'll be on the benches, getting high, and girls be out there, whatever. It's like a party in the courtyard at the projects. So I come around the building and everybody's just doing them. So I'm like, so I dip to the side on the wall of the projects to try to go around the side, to go around, because I know if he see me. And I come around, and then I come, and I think somebody turned around, and I'm like, and they look at me, and they look at Beav, and I'm like, not say nothing. And Unique said you parked the car and walked around, seen him on 67 side, you lose it. He said you lost it Prince Rashawn style. That was my name back then. I was the god Rashawn. Prince Rashawn was my name back then. All right. So it was a lot of people out there. And so because all that commotion was going on, and whoever saw me, I was like, do not say nothing. So I came around because Beav is fast. And I know if I don't catch him, he's really fast. And I came around, and when I look, I remember Unique seeing me like, he looked at me, he looked at Beav, and Unique was like, and I was like, because Unique was trying to stop me the whole time too. Unique was always trying to stop me. And I'm like, I'm like, and Unique look, he like, I'm like, I got him finally. And I crept up. And when I looked, somebody was like, Degarah. And he looked. And he, so we be sitting on the benches. So when you sit on benches, you sit on these metal benches and you sit, sometimes we sit on the back top like you sit your butt up here and your feet be on the part where you sit on the benches. We used to sit on the benches like that. Sometimes you just sit regular down on the benches and somebody be sitting up there. They got their feet on the benches, but they sitting on the back part. He was sitting on the back part with his feet on the benches. And when somebody said, yo, Rod, and he looked, and I said, and I was right there. And I went, and I said, I got you. And I went to, and he like, God. His face, he like, and as he went, and I grabbed, got you. And when I grabbed, he was already falling back, and he fell back, and he slipped out of my hands, and he fell back off the bench. Boom! And he hit the grass. I'm like, cut! And I'm trying to come over the side. I'm trying to come over the bench, and Kevin is trying to grab me. No, Ron, no. And I'm like, get him. And I'm trying to go over the bench. I get to the bench, and they pulling me back, and I'm trying to grab him, and he getting up, and I'm like, come, and I'm trying to grab him, and he just, and he ripped, and I grab his coat, and he come out his coat. You know, when you grab the coat, he came out the sleeves, and he came, and I was like I had him. I had him. I would have killed Beef. I'm so glad you said his face and he was out. I'm so glad that I didn't catch him. Do you understand that? I am really glad that I didn't get my hands on him. But shout out to my niece, Luz Perez. Shout out to Luz. I'm so glad that I didn't get my hands on him because I was so enraged to, all that time and just all that. I finally got my hands on him, and he's so lucky that Kev and them grabbed me because I would have been on top of him. Like, he was so lucky because when he fell off the bench, I was coming right over the bench. I would have landed right on top of him. He would have been done. And I done seen plenty of people get beat down behind that bench. And that bench is metal, and it had stone pillars, like stone made out of cement. I done seen people fight in the circle. You got to be careful with that bench because if your head hit that metal or the stone corner, I done seen some horror stories where somebody take their head and just smash them into the stone corner of it. Look at Top Fields. Tay said, laughing my A off. And Tace, another one. I don't know if you remember this. It might have been you or myself. I caught him again in your house. I don't know if it was you or Marcel that I was in there with, but they was in your living room. I don't know if it was you, Tace, or Marcel, but I caught him again in your living room, but it was much later. All right, I'll save that because I'm getting there. But I'm glad Tace is here. That's Thomas Fields. All right, so and Tace know what I'm talking about that Beef. We talking about Beaver, Lil Beef. He was in your living room. We was in your living room. It was the time, Tace, remember this, they had a girl in there. All right, so back in the days, guys, this ain't nothing to promote. It used to be a thing where they used to run trains. It was a thing called a train. Look, Tace said, oh, you remember now. Yeah, we call him Lil Beaver. Yep, that's his name, Beaver. So there was a thing where they would run trains. Like a thing was like a girl would have sex with your whole crew. I know it's the nastiest thing in the world. The stuff we did back then, and we would take turns. Each person would go, you wasn't raping the girl, nothing like that. It wasn't none of that. It was consent. And because your crew was popular, and she would, look, Brooklyn Red said, the train. I know, right? We are not proud of this. This is nothing to promote. But this was a thing in the 80s and stuff, the 70s, 80s, and probably the early 90s. It was not okay, right? It was bad. So a girl would want to have sex with your whole crew. It could be 10 of y'all. And she'll be like, she gonna do the whole crew. And then we go one by, that's the nastiest thing in the world. It's so nasty to go in someone, behind someone, and this stuff is crazy. But that was the thing. That's just what it was. Like, I'm sorry, we not promoting it. It just was our reality back during the crack era. It was nasty. That's the nastiest thing in the world. So they was running a train on somebody, some girl, and it was their crew. It was Kev and them, and all yeah, it was a lot. That happened in every New York City hood back then. And the girl who would do that was known as a hoe. That's what they would call her. She was the hoe, and she didn't care. She was proud of it, right? She didn't care. She was proud of it. All right. Yeah, the females agreed. It was like it was not. It was just she wanted to do it and to be known like she smashed the whole crew. Like that's just I don't know. It's some sick stuff. It's the stuff we was it just was our life back then. Do not do that. That stuff is crazy. Okay, so they was they was in Todd living room, and they was running a train on some girl, and someone told me they was like they in Ty house. They in Ty house running the train, and I caught them. But anyway, let me finish this. Let me finish this part of the story. I just said that because Ty here, and he reminded me of that part. I would have forgot about that part of the story. So now, when I grabbed them at the benches, guys, if Demetrius and them, if they didn't stop me, I would have been on top of him. Because I was saying, plenty of people got beat on those project benches, and that's an ugly beat down. Because the cement, the benches, and then those those cement thing, if you get your head, oh, bro, that beat down on those benches are an ugly thing. And that would have been ugly because I caught him right behind. Plenty of people got, that's why Ty laughing. Ty put laughing my A off because when I said I seen plenty of people get beat down behind the benches, because when you get beat down at the benches, people go under the benches trying to run, and they jump over and grab them behind the benches and slam them. Oh, those benches is a horror story. Bro, I've seen plenty of people get beat down. For anybody from the project life in New York City, know what I'm talking about, right? This is project life, all right? So they so when he fell off the back of the benches, I was going over the top. And when I was going over the top, I would have landed right on top of him. Oh, he'd have been done for. I'm glad I didn't get my hands on him. And they stopped. By them stopping me, by the time I got over the top, he had got on his feet, and I grabbed him, and he, and I'm pulling on him, and he wiggled out his jacket, and he took off, and I took off, and Beav is fast, and I took off, and I'm fast, but Beav was fast. And I'm fast. So I took off, but he already had the head start, and he running for his life. See, it's a difference when you running for your life and when someone chasing you. Your speed, y'all know that adrenaline, your speed gets turned up. So I'm on him, and he gone. He like, whoa, no, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm chasing them. They're like, Rod, they running behind me. Stop, Rod, no. And I'm like, and then he got, and I start saying, I'm gonna kill you, baby. It ain't over. And he running, I'm sorry, Rod, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm gonna kill me. So I caught him. That was it. So he continued to send the money. And then, everybody's like, all right, Ra, you got him. Like, I ain't get him. Y'all stop me from getting him. I ain't get him until I beat Blood. That's how I felt. Until I beat him, I got Blood. He got the draw. I got the beat. I cannot believe this boy did this thing. This boy took my keys and held them. Why and they were mad at him. Why did you keep them, B? All right, so let me go. So fast forward, he hiding. He did a good job. He hiding. He doing what he doing. He's hiding, and everybody's hiding him from me. So it was a whole conspiracy. Even my boys, Unique and them, was in on it too, because everybody liked B. B was part of the crew. He's Hempstead, Parkside, and they like me, and it just happened. They don't, they know why but they don't want it to happen. So Unique was hiding them too. All right. Yeah, Unique said, King, that was so funny. I'm glad you didn't catch brother B that day. So Unique gave his government name, but I ain't gonna do that. So Unique, everybody's hiding them from me. So they were all conspiring. They like whenever I would come, if he was there, they would hide him, get in front of him, like and he would. So even my team, So that one day I'm at the projects, and I don't know, somebody, I don't know who it was, but you know, you always got grimy people in the hood, right? Somebody grimy. You know, you always got people who want to see a fight, right? You always got people, most people trying to hide them, but you always got the people who be like, yo, Rob, be even right? Because they want to see, you always got the grimies, right? So one day I'm at the projects, and somebody, I don't remember who it was, they was like, yo, Beeve is in Ty Field's house right now. He said they running a train, and he named the girl. And I was like, what? He said, you got him, Ra. And I'm like, in the house? So he can't run. It's only one way in that project. Ain't no house where you got a back door. And it's one, and you can't jump. Ty lived on the 3rd floor. He can't jump out the window. I'm like, oh, I got him. I got him now. So I said, all right. I went around 67, and now the funny thing was, it was a little crew gathered because the people who was there, they was like, oh, it's gonna be a fight. Yeah, y'all know how it is in the hood, right? Back in the days, even in school, fight. Y'all know when they say a fight at the end of school, 3 p.m. a fight outside. Everybody gathered together for a fight. So by the time I'm walking around the projects, instigators, the instigator. By the time I walk around the 71 side, that's where Ty lived. It's a whole crowd, like a small crowd walking with me to see the fight. Like, Rob finally gonna catch me. So I remember I got upstairs, and I don't know who they was up there with, Ty or Marcel, somebody. But I got there, and somebody let me in. And when the person let me in, I remember Kev and them, it was like, yo, Rod, no. And then I was like, where you at? And I turned the corner, and he was in the living room. And he's like, he trying to scatter, and I'm like, because it's only one way out there. I was like, And they're like, yo, Rod. Tay said it was probably Marcel. Yeah, yo, Rod. And I think they had her back there in your room, too. I don't think he was there. They had her back there in your room. So somebody was back there with her, and they was in the living room waiting their turn, right? That's how the train goes. Sorry, guys. It's just, it was consensual. It just was what it was. The girl wanted to be popular, unless, she smashed the whole crew, and we nasty little kids. We were all kids, right? And they was, so they was in the living room waiting their turn, and I caught him. I'm like, And then everybody cop in, and he was like, he was like, I'm sorry, right? He started crying and stuff. And I'm like, nah, Beef, nah. And he's like, I'm sorry, Rob, I've been paying you. I don't know. I'm like, why you take my keys? I don't know. I was just playing. I don't know. And he's like, and I'm like, nah. And it was just something, I don't know. Something just said, let it go. Just let it go. And that's why I said I'm actually proud of this story a little bit, because I had him and he couldn't get away. And some said, let him go. You scared him enough. He's paying you. And I was just like, oh, I was so mad that and I just like, you lucky. Don't you ever play like, and I said, pay me my money. He said, I'm gonna pay you, Rob. I'm paying you. I'm like, don't you ever. He's like, I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm like, oh, baby. I'm like, and I just walked out and went out. And that was it. When I would see him, I know he was at a certain level fearful of me from then, because every now and then when I would see him, that tension, and his boys too, when we would see him crying them, they would tense up and look like, Rah, I know you let me go. And I'm like, So when I started off with saying at the projects, because one time on 50 side, they would be on 50 side, and I was inside the building serving a customer, and I came out and they was out there. And every time I would see him, he would jump because he don't know. And I seen him and they looked and I walked up and it was all good. And I'm like, you can relax. He like, all right, Ra. I'm sorry, Ra. I'm like, stop, just be quiet. And then we were smoking and everything. And that's why I thought it was that time. Then I left and I must have just got in my car and left. I got a beep. But Unique, I'm so glad you remind me, Unique, it was White Castle. I would have messed the whole story up. It was White Castle. That was even worse. That's why I'm so glad you told the story. It was even worse. I thought it was the projects that time, but it wasn't. But that's why I told the projects. So I'm glad. Thank you for helping out, Unique. So then I let it go. And for years after that, whenever I would see him, I could feel the tension, but I was never going to do anything to him again. And I always let him, let him feel comfortable. Like, and, but he's smart. He's from the street. He always not going to put his guard down. I advise, don't ever put your guard down because people in the hood are crazy. They could just blank out and snap out on you. So he never put his guard down, but I always let him know, it's all good. And so recently, about two weeks ago on here, he came on the thing. He literally said, what's up? I was like, yo, Beeb. And I was like, wow, I'm going to tell his story one day. And, nothing bad. It just, that's why I said, so guys, if anybody at home and Facebook, could y'all contact Beeb, let him know I did this story, and then ask him, because I would want to know why he didn't give it back when we was in White Castle. I think I remember, but I want to hear from him. I think someone said when his boys, Kevin, them said he was too scared. He thought I was going to flip out on him in McDonald's for taking the keys. So he was scared, so he didn't say nothing. Made it worse, and he left. And then he was scared when he got home to give it back because Ron gonna kill me now. Then he was scared, right? But then I gotta give him back. But that's what I think I remember someone saying, that when they was in White Castle, he was scared to give him back when we was in which is, I would have rather I wouldn't have did nothing. I would have just probably popped him in his head or something like, don't play with me. Like, cause I don't play games. I never, in the streets, I want the type that play games. I don't play with people. Like, because I don't like people to play with me. I'm not a good sport when it comes to like snapping and cracking jokes. I get fast. Like you get one joke. You know how somebody be like, oh, Ra, your ears are big. Or, I used to have big cheeks. My cheeks used to be big, like jabberjaws, right? I guess I grew into my cheeks, but I ain't like my cheeks. My cheeks used to be big. They'd be like, ooh, look at his cheeks. And when to pinch your cheek, I used to hate that. So I was the type that, like, if someone be like, look at your jabberjaws, you got one snap. And I'm like, all right. And then people laugh and I look, like, I'm going to look like, no, joke over. That fast. No more. I'm not snapping on you because I don't like how it feels. I'm not a good sport. So with that, I don't mess with, like, I don't play with people. I'm always was the type, do unto others as you want done unto you. All right. Now, I got one more story and then we're going to close out. It's a short one tonight. So which one I'm going to tell? So that was the Beef story. He took my keys. So I'm going to tell this one because this one, let me tell this one. So now I'm gonna fast forward. I'm gonna make this one not too long. 2 hours, cool. Not too bad. I wanted to go 2.5, 3 hours tops, so that's perfect. So I'm gonna fast forward now. This story here is at the time where I left off. Well, not last week, because last week we did the Colombians. The week before that, with the with the ISP, intensive supervision program. Okay, just to say he the same way. The intensive supervision program. That time. Remember when they found the little toy gun in my back seat and thought it was a real gun? ISP. For those who ain't watched that. All right. So now the funny thing, Zion, I'm good with responding. Like I can say the words that'll make you want to kill me, but I can't take. So I'm good. I can snap. I'm good at responding. I can say a word I can one up people to the point where you're gonna want to fight me. But I don't do it because I don't like when you do it to me. So I don't do it. But no, I'm definitely good at snap. You see how I handle trolls and stuff. That's why I'm like, trolls got no wins when they really make a mistake when they come to our ministry channel and this channel. They come, I'll be like, that's why I say, let them rock. Let the trolls stay. Let's go. You gonna wish you would have never opened your mouth. I'm just sharp with mine. But I don't like, so I don't do it. So that's why I don't mess with people. But the trolls come. Remember that last troll came here talking about, like, you came disrespectful. Anybody tell you, you better find out where you are? Don't come here disrespectful, because I will never disrespect nobody. I'm a kind, gentle man, respectful, honorable. That's just how I carry myself. With morality, I was always like that. But don't disrespect me. You're going to get what you get. You're going to get what you give. All right, so anyway. So this story now, this was the time with the ISP intensive supervision program. So this story, this involves this. And this story, it's because the thumbnail. Okay, good. I got to do the thumbnail. All right, thank you. I got to do it. So this is going to tie into the thumbnail. All right. So this story involves this car now. Now I got another one of my cars. The BMW on the screen. The 5 Series. All right. So now, this is the story. I'm gonna condense. I'm gonna make it smaller because I got another part, but I ain't gonna do that tonight. So I'm gonna do a 2-in-1 story. Let me do this part first, then I'll do the end out with the thumbnail. All right. The reason why I said revenge. The reason why I said revenge on the thumbnail. Now, when I got into supervision probation. For the story of when I got caught in that backyard when they tried to kill me, the cops tried to kill me at Michelle House. So in 92. So when I came home, they gave me an intensive supervision program. The black Mercedes that was on the screen was charcoal gray. They put tickets on it and took it from Unique House. The Mercedes with the key. That's the whole story I told. The key and the car is gone when I came home from jail. They put tickets on it, and then they just took it. And I guess the city sold it and auctioned it while I was in jail. So that Mercedes is gone. So now I'm home, and I told the story where Dow Mays, shout out to Dow Mays and shout out to Chief, his little brother. Chief let Jamel Henderson, Game 7 LL, let him know that Dow Mays had bought Big H, RP to Big H, Hempstead Crown Heights, dark street legend. I'll tell his story too. I'm gonna tell his story. And this H had this car before on the screen. It was famous, the burgundy Beamer. H had this car famous. And then I guess Dow, while I was locked up, Dow became a big hustler, and he had bought this car and he had did it over. Got the interior done over. The interior is two-tone white. I showed it before on the screen, white leather and burgundy suede and velvet and all that done up. This car is beautiful, full body kit, and has gold hammers. Gold hammers. Dishes about 6 inches deep. That was one of my rhymes back then, right? Right? I always rhyme my reality, right? I had gold hammers with deep dish rims, all right? So this is about 6 inches deep lip. So the Beamer. So I got this BMW. We living in Queens. Nah, this story. All right, let me tell this part. So I'm in the drug program, and the drug program is called Daytop Village, and it's on Jamaica Avenue, right by the Jamaica Coliseum shopping mall. But it's in the back by the bus terminal. It's on the corner. Daytop. It's a drug program. So I got intensive supervision program, probation, and I got the drug program. I got a report to both of them. So I used to have to report almost every day at first. So this is when I'm fresh home. And this is a note to all the brothers and the sisters. All right. So I'm fresh home from there, and now I got this burgundy Beamer. This is at the time I bought the Beamer. So now I'm fresh home, and I got this shiny burgundy Beamer with the gold rims and a white and burgundy suede and velvet interior with the white dash and a white. So I'm back, Mortimer. I'm back, right? So I'm driving to go to and I got this Levi. Oh, so back then we rocked Levi suits, a Levi jeans and a Levi suit jacket. Jean suits was popping. That's why y'all seen that old picture of me and my daughter. I got a light jean suit, but it's hanging off my shoulders. So this time I got one of the flyest Levi suits you ever seen. I got a Stonewash. Y'all remember Stonewash? Stonewash jeans where they wash the jeans and like fade with the Stonewash. But my Stonewash Levi jean suit, listen guys, is green and gold. Literally green and gold. All right, let me do one better. There's a reason why I'm telling this. All right. So I used to dress fly. I was definitely one of the fly dude. I always dress fly. All right, that's just was my thing. Right, I was a dresser. So hold on, Mashiach, my upbringing, my life picks. It might be in there. Hopefully it's in my life picks. That'll make it really easy. Come on, be in my life picks. No, it's not. It's in my upbringing. Give me 1 sec. I'll find it quick. I think it's, there it go. There go one of them. There you go. All right, let me do that one. Okay, so, because I want y'all to have, y'all know I bring understanding. So I want y'all to have a receipt of what I'm talking about. Present, share screen, window, bang, bang. All right, so y'all seen this picture before, most of y'all. For those who haven't, this is me during the height of the crack era. This is like the early 80s, right? Let me make it a little bigger. That's the MCM suit on, that's me. I'm in high school. Now look at these jeans. Let me show y'all the jeans. See that? Those are Stonewash jeans, red and gold. I used to dress with some fly wear. Like, I was the type, I get clothes that everybody don't got, to the point where people look at you like, yo, is that red and gold Stonewash? Where you get those? That type. That's where I used to dress, eat my cars and everything. That's the type of dude I was, right? So these are Stonewash. So usually most people just have the blue, regular blue jeans Stonewash and be the white. Stonewash was popping. For everybody from the 80s and 90s, y'all know what we talking about. Stonewash was it. Now, this story I'm telling, I got a green. Now, picture these in green and gold. Where you see all this gold, green and gold, but it's Levi's. And it's Levi pants with the Levi jacket, the Levi denim jacket. And it's all green and gold Stonewash suit. That's what I have on. All right. So I just wanted to show y'all the Stonewash so y'all can have a clear understanding. Now let me get back to the story. Let me close that. Hold on. Close that. Present. Share screen. Window. Bang. Share. Right. Put my car back on the screen. All right. Now I got the the green and gold stonewash Levi jean suit, custom. The reason how I got that, because I would get it custom made. Someone to do my stonewash with these colors. All right, I would get my stuff custom. Right, I was a custom king back then. So now I'm going to report to Daytop. I'm in this burgundy Beamer, so I'm feeling good. I'm out of jail, right? I didn't have to do the 2 to 6. I did almost 2 years, but I praised Most High. He gave me a second chance. Then I got the intensive supervision program, and I got this drug program, right? They think I was a crackhead and all that, so you know I'm working the system. So I'm driving to go to the drug program, right? No, I'm at the drug program. I went and reported to the drug program, right? In my jean suit, I got my whatever sneakers, I'm fly. So when I came out of the building, I'm walking out of the building and my car was parked in the back in the parking lot, this Beamer. When I walked out the building, I seen these girls coming up, 4 girls. And I walked out, and because, I dress all fly, they look, and I seen one of the girls like, whoa, something like that. And I looked, and then, it was like, oh, you fly, ain't you fly? I was like, all right, what's up? They was like, what's up? I'm like, that suit is nice. I'm like, thank you, ladies, thank you, right? So then I walk around the building, right? And I go drive back, I go walk back, and I go get in the car. Now, I get in the car, and I'm feeling good, because, I'm not in jail no more. It's sunny. It was sunny, shiny day. It's like 11 in the morning, Jamaica Avenue. It's feeling good. The nice day. It's, sun, shiny, and the car is gleaming, the gold. And I see the car, I'm like, oh, I'm walking to the car, I'm like, oh, that car is so pretty. Gold is glistening off the rims and all that. So I go get in the car, start it up. So I start pulling off. Yeah, I'm so fresh and clean, Larry, and I feel it. You know how sometimes you feel fresh and clean? Oh yeah, I feel so fresh and so clean. You know that stuff your shoulders, right? I feel good. And I had a good meeting with the drug program, because the counselor, she likes me, right? So the counselor, it's like I'm rocking out with the counselor. Like, she's not like my PO, like Rodriguez, the ISP. This counselor, she's cool. She rocking with me. Yeah, make you walk different. Yeah. When you feel good, it's a whole different thing. When you feel clean. So I'm feeling good. So I get to the car, start the car, let the windows down, let the sunroof back. It's shiny. The sun is coming through the sunroof. I got my little gold tooth. Got my, I put my, because, when I go in the drug program, I take my gold off because they think I'm a crackhead, right? So I got my big chains is in the glove compartment. So I put the sunroof back, the sun coming through the sunroof. And remember, it got the white interior, all white with the burgundy suede and stuff, right? So the white interior makes it bright on the inside. So I put my chains on, my big rope, whatever, Gucci, whatever chains I had, big ropes and stuff, put my rings on, put my gold watch on. I'm like, all right, now it's Jamaica Avenue, you heard? And y'all, everybody know Jamaica Avenue Shopping Center is girls centric. It's the, right? So yeah, we was kangs in them. I feel like a kang in them, right? So I pull out the parking lot, and this Beamer was smooth. Dow Mays, he had this Beamer running smooth, right? So I pull off, and I'm going, and now you come out the parking lot, and when you come out the parking lot, you're on the side of the building of the drug program, and you come out, and then you got to make a right. I think that is Merrick Boulevard. You got to make a right because it's a one-way on Merrick Boulevard, and you go past with a bus terminal on Jamaica Avenue with the old Encore nightclub, and then I would make another right to go around, because I'm going to go back up to Merrick, further up, so I can go home, because I live in Queens on Farmers. So when I pull the car, and when I pull the car, and I don't know, something fell on the side, something dropped on the side of my door. So I pulled on by the sidewalk on the side of the drug program, and I opened the door and I got out. So I got out and I'm looking down on the side. I think one of my rings or something fell down there. So I got out and I bent down and I found it. So I grabbed the ring or whatever it was and I put it on. And then I stood up. And when I stood up, a girl was standing there. And I'm like, she was bad. So I was like, and she was one of the girls who was in that crew when I came out. I guess she must have been talking to the girls and they left. So she was by herself. And so when I stood up, I jumped. And she was like, "Oh, I scared you?" So I'm like, "Oh, no, no, no." Now she was really pretty. She had long braids and all that. So I was like, "Dad," my first reaction, I'm like, "She bad." So she was like, "Dad, I'm saying, you doing it, right?" I was like, "Oh, nah," because when they see me come out of the drug program, I had the jean suit on, but I didn't have all my rings, my watch, my chain. They ain't see the car. So they just saw me and they was always like, "Dag, you fly, go ahead," So now she like, "Dag, bro." So she was like, I was like, "Oh, I know y'all saw me come out of this." It's like, "Dang." So I'm like, nah, it just is what it is. So I was like, all right. So then she laughed. So I got in the car, right? I got in the car, I closed the door, and when I closed the door, she stood there and she did like this. So I'm like, huh? She like, "So you just going to peel out on me?" So I'm like, huh? She's like, "I'm saying, come on now." Well, and I like, oh. Now, guys, I wasn't thinking of cheating on Pam because Pam held me down. I want y'all to understand, when I was locked up, Pam really held me down. She held me down. I'm talking about held me down. She took care of everything. I got a visit 3 times. I even got a visit 4 times a week because I got a job in the jail, and then I would pay people to do my job for me. I was hustling in jail, just so y'all know. I got a job cleaning the bathrooms, and then I would pay people to do the clean the bathroom for me just so I could get the extra visit 4 times a week. Pam was there 4 times a week for almost 2 years, never missed one. She was covering her butt, covering us, because Pam got a big butt. She one of those thick thighs. She one of those bottom heavy. Pam had the badoo. Everybody know that from back in the day. She got one of those bangers. Y'all know the black girl bangers. Oh yeah, she got thick thighs, legs, banging. She had the bottom heavy. So Pam was covering the butt and everything, wearing long shirts and everything, and dressing down too, because she was gorgeous. Yeah, she had the pear shape and dressing down. Right, so she was holding me down. I mean, really holding me down, and I respected it. So I was like, I wasn't with cheating on her. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. So, and the girl was banging though. That girl was really pretty. And she's standing there. So I'm like, oh, I wasn't even thinking. I'm like, oh, you want me to, Tawana said, "Stop it." You want me to, I didn't know you were still here, Tawana. I'm like, oh, she want me to kick it. So I'm sitting there. Now I'm in the car and we at the curb and she's standing over me and I look and she is gorgeous, bro. And I'm like, this girl is fly. I'm like, but I'm not doing it. I'm like, nah, I'm not cheating on Pam. So she was like, "I'm saying, you just gonna let me go?" She's like, "Where you from?" I said, "Well, I'm from here. I live on Farmers." And she said she was from I think she said Queensbridge. I think it was Queens. It was either Queensbridge or Far Rockaway projects. One of those two. I think it was Far Rockaway. I think because it was because Queensbridge and Queens and Far Rockaway and Queens got that's the most projects in Queens. So I think it was Far Rockaway. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm from such and such." I'm like, "Oh, my people from out there and everything." She's like, "Yeah, so we need to get up. I mean, come on. You know, I know you got a number." And I was like, Nah, give me yours. And I used to do that. I'll tell another story another time. Not everyone has this problem. I know this is a good problem to have. And, I'm an all right looking dude, but sometimes girls used to like me. From, I guess, my style, whatever, how I dress, just my energy or whatever. So I've had a lot of times where I had turned girls down because I was the type, and still the type, that I just don't kick it to everybody, and everybody just can't kick it to me. Meaning, sorry, I got principle. Everybody ain't getting this. That's just what it was, right? I'm very selective. Always was, all my life. Anybody know me know that. Unique in them know that. I always turn that. Unique, everybody tell you that. That Saquon just wrote it here. Literally, I'm gonna tell the story. Saquon wrote earlier, he wrote on Facebook, he wrote, remember, they used to leave notes on my car on the windshield. Girls used to write their phone numbers and stuff and leave it on the car, on the windshield. We would come back to the car and there'd be a note on the windshield. We took with the girl name and her number on the thing. Facts. So I'm just my reality. So I'm used to turning girls down. But I found out, now this is a fact, and this I'm gonna tell another story later. I found out that it's easier. All right, let me explain this part. For some guys who never experienced this, just listen. Girls don't like getting turned down. Y'all think guys are rude and nasty. Girls who think they fly or who are fly, right? Pretty girls or whatever, girls who think they got it going on, they do not like getting turned down. They get crazy. I'm telling y'all personally, it is easier, and I've heard girls do this too. I know sisters, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's easier just to take the dude's number or give him a fake number, right? Right? Just give him the fake number, try to switch a digit. Now they got stuff with dude to call you right now, but back then we didn't have, most people didn't have cell phones. Now a dude to call you right now. That ain't the number, right? So you can give a wrong digit and that's it, right? But sometimes it's easier to just take the number than to be like, no, because then they can get dudes and girls. But yeah, girls can turn demon. They get ugly. I had girls. We almost get to a fight because most guys, we used to being no. We used to getting the wrong number, used to girl like or whatever. And guys will curse y'all out. Y'all know, you get the wrong crazy guy. But girls ain't used to getting turned down, especially when they think they got it going on. Especially when they think they fly, or they all fly. It don't matter. They could be, not be, it don't matter, right? They not used to the dude turning them down. They used to kicking it and the dude want to smash, and it is what it is. So when it would come a situation when I would have to turn them down, it could get ugly. So I'm the type, I always live my life where I go the path of least resistance. That's another tool for y'all. I live my life structuring the path of least resistance. So my job in life is to make everything as easy as possible, as simple. Let's say work smarter, not harder. So I live my life like that with that motto. So I'm the type, I assess everything in my life. So if I've learned in my life that it's easier for me to take the number and play along and make the girl think I'm a caller or give her the wrong digit and make her think I'm a call to make the situation, then I'll do that. And then that's it. I just never call and I'll never see you again. And I'll usually never see him again. So it's just easier for me to get out the situation. So I'm used to this. So the girl, she says, I know you got the number. I'm like, nah, give me yours. So she's like, all right. So I'm like, oh crap. She's like, you got a pen? I'm like, now I really just want to go, right? But she gorgeous. So there is a temptation. But I'm not trying to cheat on Pam. I'm not trying to cheat on Pam. I literally honor what Pam did for me. And I'm not having it. She don't deserve that. I don't care how bad the girl is. Pam bad too. But y'all know how it is. New things. We always, as humans, we always like the next shiny object. That's the grass ain't greener on the other side crap. You got the baddest girl in the world. Why do you think Jay-Z cheat on Beyonce and stuff? It don't matter. And Jay-Z looked like a whole Joe Camel, right? He looked like Flavor Flav in a light skin. He don't look like Flav, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? They can get the baddest girl in the world and still cheat because it's always the next shiny thing. It's the grass greener on the other side. So Pam is bad as all outdoors, as bad as her, right? But she knew. She a new shiny thing, right? So if you don't get your stuff under control, you end up just, smashing all type of stuff, right? So I don't care about that. So it was a temptation because the girl is really gorgeous, right? She's really pretty, right? Light brown girl, long braids, all that body. And I'm like, man, but I'm not having it. I am not cheating on Pam. I'm just letting y'all know. I am not cheating on Pam. Sorry, mama. You just caught me. Maybe you caught me. I wasn't, in this, in a relationship or something like that. You be my girl or whatever. I'll smash you or whatever. So she like, all right. So I reach in the glove compartment. I find the pen. I'm like, oh, now I got to find some paper. Now it stressed me because I really want to go, right? Because I'm not, right? I'm just doing this I don't like confrontation. And I don't like hurting people's feelings. I don't like telling people no. And they're like, why? And I'm like, oh, now I'd just rather play along and then throw the number away. And that's it, right? So I find a little piece of paper, give her a pen. She write the number down, her name, everything. So I'm like, okay. So I take the number, and in the Levi jean jacket, they got a little pocket on the inside. You open the inside, it's a little inside pocket. So I take the number and I stick it in the inside pocket. And she talking everything, and she like, yeah, this. So she making plans, right? So she think it's on and popping, right? So she's like, all right, so hit me up later. And when you hit me up, I have your number. What you doing this weekend? We could do this, and we can do this. And you don't mind coming to Far Rockaway? I'm like, nah, I got people in Far Rockaway. I'll come pick you up. She's like, all right, we could do this. And she said she's doing all this planning. I'm playing along, but it ain't happening because I'm not cheating on Pam, right? So she does all the thing, everything. She said, all right. I said, all right, I'll call you later. Sorry, guys, this is just what it be. Y'all know girls, y'all do that all the time, too. I'm like, all right, I'll call you later, about 6 o'clock. She said, all right. She's like, drive safe. All right, you too. So, you know what I mean? Whatever. And then I pull off, right? So I pull off, and I go on. Now I'm driving through Queens, sunroof back, burgundy Beamer, sunny day. Had a good report at the drug program. Now I gotta go to ISP, go drop off the ISP. Rodriguez, she do her crazy stuff, whatever. Do my piss test, everything passing all piss. I ain't smoking right now at this point. Passing all piss tests. I ain't even taking Naturally Clean at that point. For those who remember that story with the Naturally Clean drink, detox tea. So I pull off from the ISP reporting. I did my rounds of reporting. Now I'm driving home. I drive home, everything good. Cool. Good. Life is good. We go on. Fast forward. About 2 months later, I get a beep. Beep, 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 beep. Pam's code 911, 911, 911, 911. So I'm like, whoa. Pam, we don't play that. We don't do 911, somebody dead. 911, the police at the house, or 911, it went down. So I take off wherever I'm at. I got to get home in Queens. I get there. Yeah, she waited for that call. You know she did. I hate to hurt her, but yeah, I know she waited for that call. That's not cool. I would rather not put somebody through that, but I know she waited for that call. So I get to the house. I run to the door. I run. I open the key, open the store, run down the bottom steps. Boom, 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 boom. Now I got the other door at the bottom. I open the door. I open it up. I'm like, Pam. I look, and Pam's standing there with this look. And I'm like, So I stopped. I'm like, what? Like with Pam, Pam be having me shook. I just went to Pam crazy. So I got my hands up. I treat Pam like she the police when she act crazy. I literally put my hands up. Like, what? So I so I put my hands up. And I'm like, and I look, and she's standing there like, mother effer. I'm like, what? And then I look, and she got my stonewashed Levi jean jacket in her hand. And I'm like, what? She said, you cheating on me, mother effer? So I'm like, Pam, what do you talk about? Don't, what do you talk about me? I spent all this time you was in jail and I cover myself and you got dudes trying to kick it to me everywhere I go and I'm turning and I'm like, Pam, what are you talking about? What are you talking? Don't lie to me, mother effer. You cheat on me. You gonna cheat after all that? I'm like, what are you talking about? She said this. And she goes and when she reached in the inside pocket, I remember. I forgot. I forgot to throw the number away. Guys and girls, boys and girls at home. All you boys and girls, sit down and have a seat. Listen to an elder. And for those who are older than me, listen, just listen. I know. Bad move. Taking the number and sticking it somewhere. I don't care if it's in your little, y'all know that little jean pocket? You know when you got jeans on, you got the little pocket right here? Y'all know that I used to stick the little, I don't care where you sticking it, your little inside pocket. Look, Tawana said, got to be more careful. Note to everybody, whether you cheating or not cheating or just doing what I did, trying to make the situation easier, you don't want to get caught up, making it eat. I, stupid butt, forgot to throw the number out or rip it up. Usually I'll rip it up because I don't want the number to be on the street and some random calling some girl's phone. See, I care about people. So I usually rip it up. I forgot. This about 2 months later, 3 months later. Pam got smoke coming out her nose. She's sitting there on 10 and Pam get crazy when she get crazy. I'm scared of Pam. I am. I stopped. I'm gonna tell you a story. Me and Pam used to fight back in the early night in the projects before Star was born. People in the projects knew they thought I was a what you call a wife, a people who abuse women. I was fighting Pam. We fighting. I stopped fighting Pam. Pam wore me down. I'm like, listen, you good. You got the belt. Because you can't stop her. You need to know what I'm talking about. At that time, I think I shared that story on here. When they thought I was lying. I said, if I end up dead, she killed me. Unique and them thought I was lying. To the time she tried to shoot me with my gun. I think I told that story. And she passed out and we took a Unique house. Remember, Unique, we put her in your bathtub and then next they apologizing to me. We sorry, right? We thought you was just tripping because Pam's so sweet. Pam, crazy. I'm like, Pam is psycho. Pam is crazy. That girl crazy. I'm like, she gang. So I've been scared of Pam. I've been stopped fighting Pam. We way back from the projects. I stopped there. I'm like, man, it don't make no sense trying to fight you because you don't stop. I'd stop. So I'll be like, Pam. That's why I put my hands up. Pam, like I'm under arrest. Like, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. Now this girl is on 1,000. Now Pam already crazy. So I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm glad. Shout out to Dorian in the building. I shouted you out earlier, Dorian, for your and shout out to AC, Big Aaron Cross in the building, for your I think Joey Douglas is your big uncle, Dorian. I think. Shout out to Dorian. I shout out your family earlier too. All right. So Pam, and this for everybody, guys. If you marry your girlfriend, be very careful with yeah, Pam, pulled your pistol and on you, me and X is bugging. Yeah, I don't think I told. If I didn't tell a story, I'm gonna tell it. I think I did already though, in one of the earlier videos. But anyway, so now I wasn't. Now I'm telling you, I wasn't cheating on her. All right. So I'm like, so when I seen her smoke coming out her nose, and I look in her eye, and she had that number, I said, oh, I said, Pam, please, please. I'm like, Pam, it ain't what it looked like. I'm like, no, mother effer, I said, no, Pam, I did not. No, I took the number for the girl. I didn't call the girl. And she was not having it. I'm like, Pam, honestly, to this day, I think that's probably the start of the end of our relationship. Now I'm thinking about it, to be honest with you, because it was never really the same after that. Even though I talked my way back in, I still knew she didn't trust me after that. I tried to explain with my hands up because I don't want her to get violent because you can't stop her. And I'm like, please, I don't want no violence. Please don't try to stab me, punch me, shoot me. Just no, please, no. So I did everything. I'm like, please, no. I'm like, I took the number, Pam. It's easier sometimes to take the number and just throw it away. I forgot. No, I said, call, please. Let's call the number. Please, Pam. Please, we got. And she would not. She was just livid. She was just so hurt. Yes, Laria. She was so hurt how she held me down for years and all that. And I would just do that to her. And I'm like, I didn't, Pam. I didn't. I really didn't. I'm like, inside, I'm like, and the girl was gorgeous too, but I can't say that. You know, I want to say, Pam, the girl was hot, and I wasn't doing it just to let her know, like, yes, I'm really holding you down, but you know, you can't say that. But I'm just trying, and we fought. I mean, she is just like, she can't even calm down. She wanted to pack her clothes. She ready to go back to her mama house. She ready to take the kids, and I'm like, no, and I'm for hours. We there for like hours, and the kids, and I'm trying to feed Star and Little Ra, and she ain't even trying to care about the kids. She just out of it. You know, when you lose it, she can't eat, she can't. And I'm just, so it got down to, I'm like, forget, I'm not going out hustling. I'm not leaving. Because I know if I leave this house, I'll probably come back in the house, she gonna be gone. I'm like, I am not. I'm not. So I just stayed. I ain't going out to hustle. And we all night. She going from angry, violent to upset. And I'm trying to balance her not getting violent. You know, she like, I should punch you in. you know when they do that shit. You know, and I'm like, she making me jump. you know, she like, I'm like, oh my goodness. Then when she in the kitchen, she cooking, I'm trying to make sure she don't got a knife. You know what I mean? I'm scared. I'm on edge. And finally, all night, you know, we there because it was from the daytime. Remember, I got home. It was early afternoon, right? Finally, I'm like, let's call. I said, I've never called the girl. I've never. Let's call the number, please. You'll see I never called her. So she said, all right. So we leave out because I think this before our cell phone. I think we had to go to the phone booth, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we did, because it was a beeper. We went out to the phone. There was a store on Farmers Boulevard. We went out to the phone booth and we called the number. And Yeah, Unique said him wasn't acting that time. Me and X was tripping. Money Love had made superstar chicks and was loving King. Word is bond. That's the truth about King. No disrespect to Pam. Thank you, Unique. He was just giving a receipt because they used to be with me. You know what I mean? You know, chicks used to dig me and stuff. They used to dig us. You know what I mean? We had a lot of chicks, and they see me, you know, turn down a lot of chicks out of respect for Pam. All right. So so we get to the phone booth, we call the number. The girl answered the phone. So Pam like, excuse me, I'm calling because I found your number in my boyfriend's pocket. And so the girl, Pam was like, so the girl's like, who? Now this been 2 months, 3 months later. So I know the girl like, who? Huh? And I know this girl fly, so she probably, you know, got dudes all, you know, liking her or whatever. And she so Pam, so she said, well, he got braids and this, and she started describing them. And so I think the girl, she remembered. So Pam like, oh, yeah, a burgundy. Oh, so he had his car? So was you in his car? And I'm like, right? So I'm sitting, I'm like, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And so the girl say, no. Oh, so you wasn't in his car. So how you know his car? She said, oh, I met him on Jamaica Avenue. She said, oh, so you met him on Jamaica Avenue? So what, he tried to kick it to you? And the girl said, yeah. And I'm like, but I don't know at this time because I can't hear. So she said, he tried to kick it to you? And then later I learned the girl said, yeah. And she said, oh, for real? So she looked at me, oh, really? Right? And I'm like, what's she saying? What's she saying? So then Pam go, oh, so you gave him the number? And the girl said, yeah. She said, and the girl said, yeah. But what she say? She said, but he called and I didn't answer. And he called, but I never answered. And she said, I heard Pam say, oh, so he called you and you didn't answer. And I said, what? She lying. You lying. I said, she lying. And I grabbed the phone and Pam like, give me. I said, nah, I'm mad. I'm scared of Pam, but when I get upset, I ain't scared of nobody, right? So now I'm like, give me the, because Pam like, Pam, when she get crazy, she like, give me that. I'm like, I snatch that phone, and when I get that look, Pam like, right? I'm like, I said, mother effer, you lying. I said, what you lying to my girl for? I ain't never called you. And she say, well, you should have called me then. Good. I hope your ass get a She like, good. I hope your ass get in trouble. Quick. And I said, oh, crap, bro. She did me dirty. She did me dirty, guys. I said, and I wish, now the funny thing, if it would have been a speakerphone, Pam could have heard that, but she didn't hear it. And I'm like, and she hung up. And I said, yo, you tell my girl what I said. Pam, she just said, good, you should have called. And she just turned around and started walking back to the house. And I hung up the phone. I was like, Pam. Now I'm running behind her. It's like, no, Ashawn, I can't believe you. I said, she lying, Pam. She lying. I'm like, I did not call her, Pam. I did not. I'm like, oh, man. So went back to the house, stayed home. I did everything, made her food. I just talked her into not leaving. I tried my best to let her know. Deep down inside, I don't think she really believed me. And because now I think about it, it's probably because it got worse after that. Yeah, it got worse after that. I told that story. Now I'm gonna end with this last story. This is the thumbnail. I told that story because I want just be careful with your girls, your wives, women and men. Sometimes it is easier to take the number, but you don't want to make a mistake and not throw it away and get into a situation where you really can't explain yourself. That's why trust in a relationship is everything. That's why I try to build a level of trust in a yeah, like Martin and Gina. Yeah, we like Gina. No. That's funny. I try to build a level of relationship when I start a relationship with the woman to know you have to trust me even when I can't prove something. If we don't got that level of trust, I can't go forward with them because there's supernatural things that happen in my life spiritually that I can't explain. Like, I don't want to give it away. Like the time Pam found a hotel room key in my white Mercedes Benz. I don't know if I told that story on this channel. I hope I didn't. She found a hotel room key on the passenger side of the Mercedes that I bought her, the white ML Mercedes. She found a hotel room key. That was not my key. Oh my God. If I didn't tell the story, I ain't going to tell it now. All right. And I couldn't explain. I knew it wasn't mine, but I couldn't explain it. I'll tell that another time. So just be careful in your relationship, guys, because I think that actually ruined. That was probably the last needle in our relationship. Because it got worse from there to the point where I had to break it off. Because she never trusted me. Now I'm thinking about it's probably from then. Probably from then. All right, so now the thumbnail. The thumbnail story. This same BMW. This story right here. So the revenge part was about Beaver. But this is the other part of the thumbnail. So let me make it, hold on. Let me make this bigger. I want to show y'all something. So when I bought this BMW from Dow, he was in jail. So it was sitting for a long time. And I don't know when he bought it, the condition of the tires. But when I bought it, it had already been sitting for a long time. And I want y'all to see something. Look at the tires. The black part, that's Armor All. But y'all see that part right there? I don't know if y'all, oh, there we go. Y'all see that part right there? See my cursor? Oh, it disappears. That part right there is the tire. It's bald. When I bought the car, I was so excited to have the car, I wasn't paying attention that the tires are bald. Now, not only is this a bald tire, but it's shiny and hard. They call this like a dry rot. When the tire sits for a long, extended period of time in the hot sun, with the Armor All on the tire and stuff, it'll dry rot. And it's bald. And it's, thank you, Tammy. She said, do your thing. Do you think represents, do you? Thank you, Tammy. And Tammy, you know I'm going to tell a story of my boy, Chucky. You know Chucky coming up. You know Chucky coming up. You know I'm telling a story of her big brother, Chucky. Shout out to Tammy Taylor, Parkside Projects, day one. All right. So so now I'm so happy to have the car because I'm back, Mortimer, right? I'm not paying attention that the tires are bald. I'm not even thinking about it. And they're dry rotted. So the car looks so good, I'm not even thinking. So I'm in the Beamer. I'm going from Queens to Hempstead. I think I was probably headed to Unique House first, but I was going to Hempstead. I usually don't take the Beamer to Hempstead that much, but a situation happened with Pam, I'm gonna tell it next week, where I started to show the Beamer because people thought we fell off. They thought I kind of fell off or something, right? So I started to bring the Beamer through just to let people that see me in Hempstead know, oh no, Ra ain't fall off. Ra still Ra. You know what I mean? So I would bring the Beamer through sometime because I would always ride my hoopties and stuff, right? Under the radar. But next week I'm going to tell a story. Something happened with Pam. So I said, all right, I start bringing the Beamer through so people can be, love you always. She said, love is love. Tammy said, laugh out loud. All right, love you too, Tammy. Parkside all day. So I started bringing the Beamer through so people could like, oh, Rod got the, right? So it's a day that I'm going to Hempstead to do something and I'm bringing a Beamer. So I'm on the highway, right? And the Beamer's smooth and fast. And it's so smooth, the engine's so quiet that you could do like 70 and it feel like you're doing 20 or 30, right? Y'all know luxury cars, y'all know good cars, right? So I'm on the Southern State Parkway, coming off the Belt Parkway, Brooklyn. So when I come from Farmers Boulevard, I come from my house, I jump on the Belt Parkway and I take that to the Southern State Parkway to go to my old hood in Hempstead. So I get off the Belt Parkway and I'm on the Southern State. So as I'm driving, there's a part where you get by the state trooper's office. I don't know if all that stuff is still there. I ain't been home in so long. So when you get off, so when I got on the Belt Parkway, it started to rain. It started to rain. So I'm like, all right, so I'm driving. So when I got off the Belt Parkway and got on the Southern State, the rain, I guess it was a little rain in Brooklyn, but it stopped when I got into Queens. I mean, not Brooklyn. No, I'm coming from Queens, sorry. The Belt Parkway. When I'm coming from Queens, when I got onto the Southern State, going into Long Island, I guess it stopped raining. But the ground was still slick. Yeah, a lot of y'all like, oh no, y'all already know where this going. So I'm driving, and this car's so smooth and fast, I'm doing like 70 something. Doing it, 75, right? So I'm doing it. And New York, we drive fast, crazy. So in the Belt Parkway, everybody doing 80, 90, like flying, right? So I'm flying, I'm dipping in and out, right? So then, now it rained, right? So the rain slowed people up a little, but I don't care. So now I get on the Southern State, I'm flying, and then it stopped. So I slow up a little with the rain, but it stopped on the Southern State. But the ground is still black. So I'm flying, and I'm doing like 75, 80. So I'm ahead of the cars. Like the cars are behind me because I'm doing it because it's so smooth and I drive fast. I'm from the 98 posse. Like I'm a whipper, right? I whip. That's where we get that whip from. And I'm dipping in and out. That's all we do, right? So I'm doing it. Flying. Nice Beamer, system banging. Boom, 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 boom. Sunroof back, car, gold glistening off the rims. I'm going to Hempstead. I'm like, yeah. Wait till I drive through the hood, they see, because a lot of people ain't know I had the Beamer, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm driving through the hood. I'm about to go through the hood. So I'm driving, and then I I think I got past the state trooper office and I slowed down. Because we slow down when we get by the state trooper because some of them be waiting there. Slow down a little, right? Catch a little 65 because I don't want to. Then once I got past, you look, I see no trooper was sitting there. Past the troopers, it's on. I hit it. And that thing was gone. Took off. Leaving the traffic. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden, there's a turn. And I hit the turn. And I just feel nothing. When I drive, I'm a real good driver. The rubber on the cement, you could feel the got you Mike watching. I love it. I'm watching all day. All right, that's what's up. What's up, Tammy? You could feel the rubber on the cement, guys. I can feel, because when I'm driving, I'm connected. I'm a real driver, I'm connected. I can feel when the rubber leaves, it's not a connection with the cement anymore. I could feel it. I could always feel it. And it usually makes me, shout out to Mike Garcia in the building, it usually makes me slow down, right? So I hit the turn and I don't feel a connection with the ground. It's gone, bro. And I'm like, and by the time I try to hit the brake and it goes. The car, the back just go woof. I'm doing like 75, 80 on the southern state. And I feel that thing just leave the ground. And I try to hit the brakes and it whoo, and the back just go shoo. And I'm like, oh, yo, bro, I'm doing 75 miles an hour and this thing fishtails. I don't realize that my tires that y'all see, it was those same tires. Later, I bought new tires. Okay, so that won't happen again. But it was those same tires that y'all see on the screen were on the car. And that thing went 75 miles an hour like this. And I see my whole everything turn. And I'm like, and I'm like, oh. And I take the wheel and go this way. You turn and it goes woo, and it swings back this way. And it's going, as it swings, first time it swung, it was going towards this way. And I could look and I seen the cars back. And I'm like, and then I'm like, but I was so far ahead of them that they was able to, I don't know what that was. Oh, got him, whatever you was, a little gnat. Got you. Unless that was a little spider dropping down. Whatever it was, got him. Sorry, didn't mean to kill you, but you don't belong in here. All right. So, I repent for killing you. So then I swing it back this way. For those of you who ever get into a thing where your car fishtails, you have to not panic. You have to turn the wheel the opposite direction the way the car is going. If you panic, you're probably gonna die if you're going that fast. Just so you know, I don't panic. So I whip it back the other way and it takes off, shoo, and whips the other way. And this thing, and I'm like, it's like a roller coaster, bro, Mike. I'm like, it's going so fast. I'm getting like dizzy and lightheaded. And it's spinning, and I whip it back this way, the other way, and it goes swoop, and it's woof, woof, woof. It's just spinning, and it's trying to flip over. Yeah, do not hit the brake. It's trying to flip over. And I'm like, please. It's your whole life, guys. Your whole life is that, because I'm going 75 miles an hour. If it flips, I'm probably dead. If I don't stop it from fishtailing. It just, oh my goodness, bro. I whip it back and it's going woof, and it's going again. And it's like woof, and you gotta go back the other way. Whip it back, and it's going again. And I whip it back, and then the cars are skidding aside. The cars are they're going onto the sidewalk because they all on the highway, but I'm so far ahead. If I would have been going so fast, they would have crashed right into me. I wouldn't be here. I would have been dead. They would have all smashed into me. They yes. So they whipping all the way. I mean, back and forth, and all the cars are skidding on the side of me. I'm pulling up on the side, and this one's pulling up on the side, and I'm just I'm spinning so much, I'm getting dizzy. Like it's whipping back, and I'm woof, this way, woof, 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 and I'm going up the road, and finally it starts to, your whip starts to slow down a little, because it whips fast, and I'm going back this way, because every time it goes this way, it's going towards the curb. And if it hits the curb, it's going to flip. And this way, it's going towards like, because I kept going, there's like a bridge, some cement thing. And I whip back this way. So the whip is to stop it from fishtailing this way. And then when you bring it back the other way, it fishtails this way. And then you bring it back, it'll stop it from going towards wherever it's going to hit. Whether it's the wall or the medium or the curb, because if it hit the curb sideways, the car's gonna flip. And this way. So you keep whipping it back, forth, back, but you can't panic. You cannot lose your mind. You have to just keep whipping. And it's the scariest. Nothing is more scary than seeing your life flash between your eyes and you are trying to control it. Because everything in you wants you to just scream, right? I got another story where what's his name did that. He just screamed, ah! Right? Because everybody can't hold it together. I'm just used to it. I'm that type of person. I've always did that in dangerous situations where I just think, I don't know, it just is what it is. So yeah, you take your foot off the gas, do not hit that brake, and just keep whipping it back and forth. You just gotta, you can't do anything but whip the wheel. The wheel going counter to where you're fishtailing is the only thing that's going, and it's going to take a time from this way to that way to this way to that way, and it goes slower and slower and slower till you're like, and you know it's slowing, and then finally it'll come to a stop. That's if the cars don't crash into you and you don't panic. And finally, the car stopped way up. All these cars are screeched on the side. All the rest of the cars are stopped. I'm looking at all these headlights. Cars are all up on the grass from not crashing into me. And the car stopped. And I sit there, I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. So I'm like, okay. And then I just, all right, I just take back off on the parkway. So I drive off and I drive past the bridge. I get off in Lakeview. I go to Unique House. I probably told them the story. And I'm like traumatized, a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, like your life. I like breathing. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Then when I got to Unique House, I looked. I'm like, why? And I look and the tires are bald. I'm like, and when you rub it, they're hard. And I'm like, why I didn't see that? I didn't pay attention. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't see that. That they're dry rot. You can see it in the picture. You see, this is when it was sitting. You see, it looked like it don't got a lot of air in the tire. They're dry rot. That's a picture of a dry rot tire. It's too shiny. The bottom, this part, it shouldn't be shiny. Now the front part, because he got armor all. Always check your tires. Check for dry rot. All praise to the Most High that I'm still here. All right. That's 3 hours. That's enough. I'm at 3 hour mark of 2.5 to 3 hours is a good stopping place for me. All right, I have some more, but I'll tell the rest next week. All right, so the moral of the story. Number one, check your tires for dry rot. Check your tires for tire pressure. Slow down in wet conditions and slick conditions. Always feel the connection with your tires in the road. Even when I'm on the passenger side and someone is driving, I always be like, slow down. Because I can feel sometimes when they turn, I don't feel the connection with the ground. And not everyone has that intuitiveness with them when they drive. Don't be scared as a passenger to tell the person to slow down on the turns. I can feel when we lose a connection with the ground. Always. I don't care if you're in the back seat. A lot of lives are taken by car accidents. All right? And a lot of them for faulty tires, low tire pressure, driving in wet conditions, and hydroplaning, or even in ice for those in the cold regions. And hydroplaning, black ice. Y'all know about that in New York. Be very careful, always. All right? Keep the connection with the tires and the ground. It's when you're driving, you're supposed to come one with the car, and you can feel when it loses its grip. Yes. Tammy said you have to be mindful. It's called being mindful for your safety and others. Yes, and theirs. Because even people around you. Because you can cause an accident and someone else with their kids in the car, and you could kill them by, not even meaning because of your ineptness or your lack of being mindful can kill a family, and you'll be heartbroken forever for that. Some of you could get arrested too. The other part was the story of Beeve. Shout out to Beeve, Lil Beaver. I'm glad that I was able to calm down and I didn't hurt Lil Beeve, my little man. And remember, forgiveness, guys, forgiveness. We have to be able to forgive. And don't play. The other part more of that story is don't play with people's property. Not so much playing games, because you never know what people go through. I don't know what would have happened if that locksmith wouldn't have been able to get my car, fix my key to my Benz, make another key to my Benz, and I went through Mercedes and paid $5,000. I don't think I would ever stop trying to kill B. All right. So don't play with people's property. You never know what could happen from it. Okay? You never know. You can cause people real lot of stress and problems in their life by you joking. Be careful with joking with people's property. Have respect for people's possessions and properties. All right. And again, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do unto others as you want done unto you. Another strong life lesson. Treat everyone the way you want to be treated. I lived my whole life like that. Now, there's been times when I was outside of that and did foolish stuff. But for the most part in my life, I always treated people. That's what stopped me from being a real nasty person and doing a lot of dark things to people. Because I would always think, how would I feel if that was being done to me? If you do that in your relationship with your spouses, your family, your children, whatever, if you always reacted to people and said, how would I feel if this happened to me? It will stop you from harming people for the most part. And then it will also always be willing to apologize to people. Always be willing to take accountability for your actions and apologize when you're wrong. Apologies go a long way with people. I was in a relationship with a woman who would never apologize for anything. She loved me, wanted me to marry and everything, and I wouldn't marry her and none of that. She got my babies, she stole my seeds. She did. But I would never marry her. And she would never apologize for anything. And all I needed sometime, right, Tawana? All I needed sometime was an apology. All sometime I needed to hear is that, like, I'm sorry. Just to let me know, okay, thank you. You acknowledge that you were wrong or you hurt me or whatever, and you apologize, I forgive you, and we can move on. Okay? So always, guys, apologize. especially in your relationships too. Don't get to a point in your relationship with your husband or your wife where you start taking them for granted and you knew you was wrong and all that and you just whatever and go on with it. No, she needs that apology. He needs that apology. It'll go a long way to have them to forget, to block the hurt, to clear it out so it doesn't fester and grow into a cancer in your relationship. Children as well. Most of us, we have children, right? Most of us think we the parents, you don't got to apologize to no kid. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you want them to be healthy human beings, you want them to be able to apologize, then you need to show the fruits of the exercise over them. If you do something wrong and you totally wrong, don't feel, you go and say, you know what, baby girl, or little man, or whatever your son is, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Mommy was wrong. Daddy was wrong. You were right. I apologize. All right, you were right. I apologize. That will, remember, they learn by our actions. That would take them a long way. Yes, they need to know, yes, Tatiana, children always need to know we make mistakes as well. And also, yes, treat them accordingly. Each one, facts. Everyone across the board, even your little ones, it will go a long way. They will grab that quality that you bestowed into them. And that will make them more responsible human beings where they learn. Remember, they learn from our mistakes, our dark, our light, our mistakes, our gifts, our everything. These qualities are the qualities of the Most High that's in us. That's why the great commandment that the Messiah came, what they call Jesus, the Mashiach, the Messiah came. He said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That means do unto other according to as you want done unto you. And love the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbors yourself. Within those, fulfill everything, all the law. As long as you do that, your life will be balanced. I always did that. That's why I didn't have but so much dark. That's why a lot of people still like me and always did, because I was never really that foul I was never a foul individual. Not really. I was never a foul individual. But of course, times we do stupid stuff. Y'all know. All of us got a darkness within us. But I'm the type, I always try to take accountability and apologize. Even on this channel, I'm going to be, when I say certain stories, I'm going to be apologizing to individuals because I did stuff to them back in the days. And I don't know if they're alive or dead, if they're sad, but I'm going to apologize. Remember, that's of the Most High, guys. It's a meek and humble heart and accountable. All right. Thank you so much, Pam. Tammy, she said, please be respectful and be accordingly. You already know that we was raised like that. You was raised, such a good young man was raised. Thank you, Sister Tammy. All right. I love you all. Thank you for joining Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life's Testimony TV episode. Another one down. Keep it functional. Y'all know my motto is love. That's the heart. Then I point up to the Most High, to the sky. Love the Most High, y'all. All right. Next week, I got a special episode with Raheem Rayford from Crown Heights and Hempstead, Strong Island. I'll be telling the story of Steve Lawrence. If anybody who watched this, if you have any pictures of Steve Lawrence from the Heights, please DM me. Send them to my Messenger or Facebook or something, or post them to my wall or something. Hopefully I can get, Raheem said he's going to try to get some pictures of Steve Lawrence. Hopefully somebody can give me some pictures of Steve Lawrence. I'm telling Steve Lawrence story this week. I might include Chucky in that story, but I'm probably going to save Chucky for another one now. Since I just, I might tell Chucky in that story too. I might. I'll think about it. If not, I'm going to tell Chucky's story another time. But I'm doing Steve Lawrence and Raheem. And Raheem's going to be my special guest next week. Eastern Standard Time, about 8:30 p.m. I love you all. Go forth and be the light of the fire that you are. Be the light in the darkness. Go forth and be the light to everyone else. We're called to help someone else. That's the purpose of us all in our life, according to the Most High. All right, I love you all. Thank you for my ministry, Mashiach Assembly. Everybody else, I'll see y'all tomorrow on the study. I'll be putting the thumbnail up. the study for the Bible, for the breakdown, Bible breakdown and whatever, life breakdown. I'm still doing the Black Kings and Nobility, but I'm still gonna put I got other stuff coming. It's gonna be a different thumbnail. Y'all see it when I put it up. But I'm still bringing out the receipts that we were the kings of Europe and how we got sold into slavery in America from Europe as well. And we had these last names that we didn't know. We thought we got them for the slave master, and they actually came from our ancestors, which was the kings of Europe during the Dark Ages. That's tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. on my ministry channel, Mashiach Assembly, House of Yah Ministries on YouTube. If you just Google Uncle Yahshua, my name, both my ministry channel will come up and this 25 to Life channel will come up. All right. I love you all, New York, Facebook, Hempstead all day. Y'all know a New York City thing. All right. I love everybody over there in the ministry over on YouTube. All right. I love y'all. We out. Keep it functional. Another one down. All right. We out. Shalom, guys.
This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha cause I like to tuck that Tucci. All the time on the grind getting that Ducci. This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories every week.
Police are on the scene of a triple homicide on Long Island. It happened overnight at a home in Hempstead.
I'm from Hempstead, dark side, the ghetto, the dark side, strong, the wrong, I think I'm supposed to burn. Am I bad, motherfucker?